Well, here we are, episode 136. We got a boatload of stuff tonight on this episode. We're going to be interviewing The Pointe, a band from Winthrop, Massachusetts, my hometown, talking about their debut album. We're also going to be talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. Yeah. And if we have time, well, we always do, I think we're going to talk about our favorite sci-fi movies, since movies have become part of the podcast. It's kind of like pop culture stuff. We're going to be doing 45 poker as usual, the whole new batch of 45s. You make the call, this day in music, it's loaded. So sit back, relax, enjoy the podcast.
The KOFB studio presents Milk Crates and Turntables, a music discussion podcast hosted by Scott McLean. Now, let's talk music. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction as usual. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. You know the name, I'm not going to say it. We're streaming live right now over Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, D Live, Twitter. Well, that was X. I can't stop fucking saying that. I don't know why. Anyway. Yeah, so we got an interesting show tonight. A lot going on. So let's jump right into it. Enough of my bullshit. Let's bring on the wrecking two. Start with
Lou Collichio.
Greetings.
What's up, buddy?
Not much, man.
All right. Let's
Ready
get
to
this
show.
off. Yeah, ready to go. And let's bring on
Mike Smith.
Hi. What's up, Scott?
Nother. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much.
All
I
right.
was in the area, thought I'd drop in.
Hey, what the hell? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? So
What's
been going on? Everything good? Everything good with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're great.
Fucking silence this. All right. Well, you know what? Let's get right into it. We got a lot going on tonight, so
Yeah.
I don't really care what you guys have been doing. It doesn't really matter to me.
We know that.
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
Yeah, well,
And I am Alan
you're a
Rickman,
big softy.
well, Lou's back, by the way. Yeah, thank you, Lou. It was fucking torture last
so-
week.
Yeah, wasn't it?
This was
No, it
fucking,
wasn't.
dude. This was like carrying a fucking 20-ton lead weight on my back last week with me and Mark.
You had Big Head Todd come on.
Yeah, that was
He
at
had to
least
carry the show.
He carried the fucking show, and he was horrible. So what does that tell you?
So poor
Fuck.
Scott had to deal with Professor Snape over here.
Yeah, you do kind of look like him a little bit. Too.
Yeah, and I act
Bigger.
like him.
Little bigger version of him. So,
It's great
Yeah.
to be back.
oh, wait. Iron Man, activate. There we go. All right.
Right.
He's
That's
up.
right.
He's up and running.
Mhm.
So we got the Pointe on tonight. It's going to be a good
Cool.
interview.
Awesome.
They're always good to talk to. Some hardworking kids right there.
Mhm.
Great
Call them
music.
kids. Fuck, call them
right.
kids. They're
They're
guys. They're men.
The kids, they're in their 20s.
They're young men.
They're young men. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Whatever.
We're
the
not.
fuck they
We
are.
are not.
I
Doesn't
became an
matter. They're a
adult when
band, right? That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
I turned 40. I called myself an adult. Till then, I was a kid.
Well, Lou, are you saying we're old?
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be 60, but I'm still a bad motherfucker.
Oh, me too, man.
I still.
I'm scrappy.
I'll beat up a 27-year-old kid.
and there
not
are
a
times
problem.
when you want to.
That's not a problem. Just not these kids. Not these kids. I know their parents. I can't really do that. It's not-
That'd be horrible.
You're a little
Yes.
tricky.
They are a band. They are a band.
Yes. All right. So, hey, listen. Good evening, Allison.
Hey, sis.
Sister Allison.
Patty Yazzie,
Hey, Patty.
thank you for this wonderful contribution of 45s. Still complete in their covers and everything.
Did you say good
So-
evening to Dave?
Yeah, Dave Phillips, king of
Okay.
the 45s. Yeah, there he is. He took his nappy today. Dave Phillips took his nappy today. He's going to be able to make it through the whole show, maybe. You know, it's 7 o'clock. It's late. I got to take a nappy before I watch Milk Crates. All right, here we go. Let's get this game started. Let's get the show started.
45 poker.
Get the bullshit out of the way. All right, so we're going to start off with Mark. We'll start off with Mark this week.
Okay.
And here we go with a new batch of 45s. I looked at these. They're pretty fucking good.
Cool.
This is going to make it a lot more interesting. Maybe I have a chance of fucking winning for once. Can't win this shit. All right, here we go. Mark, pulling your first card from Epic Records. Epic Records. Here we go. Ooh, shit. Right off the bat.
What?
Sly and the Family Stone, If You Want Me to Stay. Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
Nice.
That's a tough one right off the bat. And Dave Phillips, no nap today. His dog Tony must have kept him up. I love when people name their animals after like people, like their first names. Like, I get a friend, his cat is named fucking like Frank.
I like that too.
Fucking, I named my cat Morrissey, but you know,
Yeah.
there's something behind that. But when you use a random fucking name,
Bert.
Frank, yeah,
I had a friend, his dog's name is Bert.
yeah. See. All right, here we go, Lou. Here's your first card
All right.
from RSO Records. Oh, a little disco going on here.
Cool.
Yvonne Elliman.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Yes.
You keep me hanging on, right?
If I can't have you.
No, it's. I don't know why I keep hanging on. And what's the other side? Love me. So, no,
I don't know that one.
Mark's in the big lead right now. I need to pull a fucking doozy right now. Here we go.
Alan Rickman in the lead.
The Sound of Philadelphia label. Sound of Philadelphia. Ooh, shit. The OJs for the Love of Money. Oh,
Wow. You're in the lead now.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, Mark, I'm going to go to the front of the deck for this one.
I'm thinking Patty has a very good collection of singles.
This is a really interesting collection. It's pretty good, man. It's better than the fucking garbage I had in the leading up to this. But hey, it was a start, right? It was a start.
Yeah.
If you have any 45s laying around and you're not doing anything with them, send them to me. They'll
They're in
get
my
used.
daughter's house. I'll get them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, Mark. Yeah, that whole idea with you, and then hey, I'll do it. No, don't. You can't.
Just shut up. Pick a card. Pick
There
a
we go.
card.
All right, just shut up and pick a card. All right, from Chelsea Records. No, Sussex Records.
Okay.
This is from Mark. Bill Withers. Lean on Me. Ooh.
Oh.
Sly and the Family Stone and Bill Withers. You got the black thing going on now, buddy. You're rolling. All right, Lou, here you go. And that wasn't racist if anyone's listening. Shut the fuck up.
It's got to get better here.
You better get better. Here we go, pulling it out from Elektra Records. Lou's losing this week.
I was bragging too.
Judy Collins, Cook with Honey, or So Begins the Task. Yep, you lost.
I'm out.
You're
man.
out.
Game
You're
over.
out of it. There we
Cook
go.
with
My
honey,
second one. I need to pull a good one here.
I'll be right back, guys.
I need to pull a good one. Hold on. Here we go. There you go. From Areola. What? Isn't that a
I want to be on that label.
Areola Records?
I'd like to see the label.
I'm fucking Marmalade. Fly, fly, fly.
Lady
that was
Marmalade?
No, that was there was. I remember this song.
Yeah.
Not a big hit, but looks like Mark. Unless Mark gets a shit piece of fucking album right here,
happen.
I'm gonna go to the back and see what's in the back. From Atlantic Records.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit. Hall and Oates. She's gone.
Oh,
I think Mark wins this hand.
Jesus.
I think Mark
thank you,
wins this
Patty.
hand.
Thank you.
Here we go, Lou. Let's see if you can finish the shit show. From MAM Records, MAM, from MAM Records.
That was an interesting label.
Okay. Oh shit, Gilbert O'Sullivan, Alone Again, naturally.
He was on MAM Records.
25 years old. The mother God rest his soul. This is a fucking. You play this song. You play this 45, and you want to slit your fucking wrists when you're done. If this isn't fucking depression on vinyl,
yes,
I don't know what the fuck is. This is fucking. It's a good song, but it's depressing.
It's
as
depressing.
Fuck.
I remember I cried when my father died.
Yeah. The fuck.
Oh my
What
god.
I want to hear about that in a song for.
We always mention that with Captain Jack.
Well, I know you like because
Captain
his
Jack.
father dies and the motherfucker says, "I ain't going back to college. Fuck that motherfucker."
He's floating in the swimming pool. It's horrible.
He's floating in the swimming pool. I always get the Brian Jones thing in my head with that.
Why
one.
not?
Floating in the swimming pool.
Bathrobe.
You're not going back to school.
All right, here we go. All right, from Asylum Records. This is my third one. This is oh shit, Eagles. One of these nights.
Biggie. It's a biggie.
Ooh,
But
so
still.
okay, now we got a decision to make here.
But
We got a
still.
decision.
Want me to read them off?
Lose out. Yeah, give me your hand first.
Okay. I got Sly, If You Want Me to Stay, Bill Withers, Lean on Me, and Hall & Oates, She's Gone.
Yeah.
You have OJ's For the Love of Money,
Yeah.
Marmalade, Fly, Fly, Fly,
Yeah.
Eagles, One of These Nights,
Lou.
one of my favorite Eagles songs.
Scott.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
That was hard. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
If the OJs and the Eagles song and one of these nights.
Eagles put you over the top, yeah.
Yeah.
Close though. I can't believe how badly I sucked.
That was horrible. I like
I can
you
believe
were
it.
good with the old ones. Now, you know.
All right.
All right, moving on. Now that we're past that. So we got the Pointe coming on. The Pointe is a band from my hometown, Winthrop, Massachusetts, right on the border of Boston. Colin McLean. Here he goes. Good luck to the Pointe with this one. He's a groupie. My brother's a groupie. He's a 63-year-old groupie.
Your brother's cool.
Oh, don't fucking give him that much credit.
He's your big
The
brother.
Svengali.
Yeah, he's my big brother. Here we go. All right, without any further ado, let's bring on The Pointe from Winthrop, Massachusetts. Their debut album. They put out a debut album. We're going to be talking about it. Here we go.
Hey,
Look
guys.
at that. Look at that. The studio audience going wild.
Oh, they love us already.
What's that?
They love us already. We haven't said one word.
They love you already. Everyone
You
listens
just
to
saw
you.
the faces. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So, all right, boys. So you got your debut album. You put it together. You were on about a year ago? I think you were on the podcast.
Sounds right, yeah.
About that, it's been a while, and I think at that point you released Runaway, right? Was that your first song that you kind of put out?
Yeah, that was the first one there.
Don't get B-Mac. All right,
I was laughing at that,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, ignore him. He's a distraction. He's a distraction. He's a disruptor. So, first of all, introduce yourselves. Remember, it's a podcast, so this live stream is just a fucking means to an end. The audience is the audience. So, all right, start with however you want to set it off. Who's who?
Left or right?
I'll start. I'm Brandon McDonald. For the band, I mostly play bass and sing.
I'm JC McGonigal. I play drums for the band.
I'm Alex Anzoni. I mostly play guitar, help songwrite, play a little bit of bass here and there, but mostly guitar.
So, yeah, you guys have that unique ability to kind of shift around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you don't stick, primarily do, but there's times where you can kind of switch it up, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. If we wanted to, we could all rotate. Playing live, JC sticks in the kit, and then mostly me and him rotate. Sometimes Mike too hops on the bass, but mostly us three.
So who's not here tonight?
Mike.
Mike's not with us.
Mike Norris?
He's not with us.
Yeah. He's too good. Tell him I said asshole.
Yep.
Tell him I said asshole. No, he's a good kid. I have to say that. I know his parents. It's one of those things, in case they're watching. I'm only kidding. So you guys put your album together. It's been about a year. So you had come out with a
Colin. Let's go.
four track release earlier? No.
We had our first single was Runaway, and then our second was Let It Go, and then Leaving in the Morning. And those ones came out in like the spring, and then our album just came out last Friday, which has the 3 singles on it as well as 9 other original songs.
So I listened to it, and I already added 3 of the songs to my playlist, and my playlist is finally curated. I don't just put trash in there, right? I get over 200 songs just that I'm very selective about what I listen to. So 3 of your cuts, no bullshit. I have them in my playlist. The first one is Not Like That. I like that. Yeah. The opening is nice. Nice opening, yeah. And you jump right into it. I like the Not Like That, the echo effect that you put in that. Yeah.
That was a last minute ad too, really.
Yeah, I like that.
That was a last minute question. Yeah, I think it really sounds good.
So shit like that happens, and I say this all the time. And I tell this story, and it kind of rings true when it comes to like recording. So the group ABC, they were an '80s band, and they had this song, "The Look of Love," and David Bowie was in the studio while they were recording, and he's just watching. He kind of knew the lead, he knew them, and so they asked him any advice, and it was a last minute thing, right? So this is how this happens. He said, "Well, I think you should talk during the song. Do a segment where you just talk." And they added this little segment into that song, "The Look of Love," and it fucking made the whole song. Like it was a nice. And Bowie said that, and then literally just got up and walked out of the studio. Like, see you later. And they added that in. Well, if David Bowie tells you to do it, you do it. So this echo effect was a nice touch, nice little breakup, and you got a little guitar jam in there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. And then the second one I have is Runaway. I like that from the beginning. I like that song from the beginning. Yeah. It's got, and I think I said this to you before, it's got kind of like a 311 vibe. You know, I like that.
I
right?
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And then the third one is Let It Go. You jump right into it.
I love that song.
Yeah, jump right into it. It's got good energy to that song. And the strum. You're good with the strum, kid. I like that's a nice style. You got your own style.
Yep.
What's that?
All about the strum. That's it.
Yeah, it's a nice style. That's your thing. It works.
Yeah.
You know, it works. Lou, what do you got for the
Good album, guys. Really good album. I like the fact every song sounds different. It's not like some albums, you know, where you hear like 3 or 4 songs, there's like a similar vein. And you know, which I like the fact that everything had its own little vibe. Some nice grooves on there. Vocally, I mean, I heard like a Peter Gabriel influence, I thought, and some almost kind of like modern Genesis at times in the instrumentation. You know, I like the rhythmic thing. Like I was getting like a Peter Gabriel vibe, like kind of a kind of funky rhythmic feel, which it was good. It's nice. It's got a great feel. Good job. Interesting sequencing. And the album to me ends kind of quirky. I think the last 3 songs are a little unusual than the ones that preceded it. Good stuff though. So I like the drums in the last song. Not Like That.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Mark?
Where did you and how did you record it? What's the, what was the process for doing it?
Each song really is different the way we did it. That last one, Not Like That,
that might be like the oldest one.
Yeah, that's actually like the oldest one on the album.
Okay.
And that was Alex's laptop. We recorded it on GarageBand. And
yeah, everything's through GarageBand. We do have like condenser mics we use, and then the guitars are all just plugged straight in. So we don't like any guitars or anything. And then just all through GarageBand. I think most of the drums are actually AI.
Okay.
They're all mapped out. But yeah, all just like on our laptop or on his phone, like no studio.
Oh, okay, well, I noticed the first stuff we heard. This sounds a little more produced.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it we kind of had like the songs kicking around for a while, but then like once we knew we were gonna put it out, we went back and like reproduced everything and like kind of like tweaked everything. So even like Let It Go was one that we released first, but then like we tweaked that one too. So we went back and did a lot of work afterwards before we released it.
Now, were you all in separate locations? It was all done remotely?
I'd say a little bit of like 50-50 where Alex and JC had the songs on their phone and laptop, so they'd work on it on their own. But we would get together and use monitors to get a full sound, and it's good to feed off of each other to get different opinions on things, and that's kind of how we find.
Yeah, I don't know if we were all four of us were in the room like at all times, but there'd be at least like two of us, mostly like three, and then sometimes we'd all be together, but it was like really spread out.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a sit down and we'd all record it.
So it's all strictly DIY. You did it all yourselves. So it's self-produced.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, it's amazing what you can get in sound. I read an article. The guy he's a music producer, and he says one thing about the DIY thing is that you don't have an outside ear to govern you or to suggest. Almost like the role of producer is gone in some home record. Well, and the thing, the reason being, like, you do what you have. We all do the same thing, but I noticed there's a big improvement in sound, and the whole sonic quality sounds. It sounds really good. So it's very professional. So again, good job, guys. Really.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Just really quick. It's released on all streaming services.
Yep.
Just about anything you could think of. Like, so you got the main ones: Spotify, Apple Music, and then like it's even on Pandora.
It's on Pandora.
TikTok audio. It goes to YouTube automatically. Anything.
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music. Yep.
Yeah. Good. Because Dave Phillips said he'll check it out if he knows how to download a streaming service thing. I don't know.
You might need another nap.
No, he does. What do you think, Mark?
Well, this year I got a new car, and when I get a car, I invest in the sound system. That's all I care about. Thing could drive 10 miles an hour. I don't care. It has to sound good. So I played this today on Spotify, and the sound is great driving in my car. And speaking of that, your songs build in intensity. Your melodies just come out. Like, you don't come in like Foo Fighters. What I appreciate is every song starts a certain way, and these melodies just creep out of nowhere. I really enjoyed the whole album. It flowed good. The songs that just stick out to me, of course, Let It Go. That was the first song I heard from you guys, and right away when I heard that, I said, these guys are good. Where You Gonna Go has a great melody, very catchy, sticks him to Nearworm, sticks to me, and then all day I'm humming that song. Free as a Bird, I could hear that on the radio. That really came out great, and it sounds good. It's got a nice bass sound in it, and then I'll Be Around. That's my jammy song. In that middle, I could see you guys extending that to like 15 minutes if you wanted to. That's a
we probably would, definitely.
Yeah. And Brandon, your vocals are great. Like, I like it when you just kick it up a notch and you get that higher octave. It sounds really good. Mm-hmm. We got a station in the New York area, north of New York City, called 107.1 The Peak. Your stuff would be at home on that station. Like, it would fit like a glove. So I know that you guys, with the right people hearing your music, you're going places. This is all really original, good compositions.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah.
And like Lou said, the sound. So I'm coming from the mastering side. Like, it almost sounded like you went to a mastering studio because the compression was well done. Nothing jumped at you. Very, very even sounding. And you told me you did it in GarageBand, and it's like, wow, that sounds better than back in the day when people went into a studio. It sounded really good.
Yeah. Well, the one thing is unlike the studio, we have unlimited time. So
yeah,
a lot of time spent in where if it was in the studio, we'd be paying like we'd be bankrupt. There'd be no band.
Guys, Mark and I used to do a podcast through a telephone. It didn't sound half as good as what you guys do.
Oh, these fucking guys were animals. They were fucking dude. These plus Perry Dedovich, the guy that got this all started with those two being on this show. They did a fucking podcast be like 3 hours on a fucking cell phone. Like they're fucking holding the cell phone for 3 hours.
Got so
And if
hot.
two people
That's
talked,
fucking dedication.
and if two people talked at the same time, they stepped on each other. So it was a lot of
And Mr. Big Mouth there in the corner there too.
It was fucking horrible, but it was like just this quality, the audio. But they fucking did it, and they kept doing it. That's amazing to
Persistent.
me. Yeah, it's just dedication, right?
Like the McDonald's movie with Ray Kroc. Can I add something? A couple standout tracks for me. Medication. Where are you going to go? Who are you going to call? And I'll be around. I agree with Mark on that song. That was a standout track.
See, that's interesting. The three of us have different songs that we like. So what does that tell you right there, right?
Yeah.
There's not like
Everybody.
what's that, JC?
There's something in there for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. And that's not easy to do. I don't know if it's by design. I don't know. Do you think of that, or they just come out that way? And do you just kind of say, hey, that one sounded a little bit like this one? Like what's that process?
We've got about, I want to say like 50 songs that are in different stages in the process. And the album, we really just kind of picked ones that we thought fit the most together and also were basically our best ones. So we've got other songs that are really good as well. It's just they might sound a little bit different, or they weren't as close to being done. So I mean,
right.
we've got a bunch that are basically done that we chose these 12 as like, I don't know, call it a greatest hits album if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically all over the map, but we picked 12 that we thought were kind of concise, and even those are pretty spread out. So you can imagine the other ones are just like all over the place.
It sounds to me like you let your songs grow organically. Like I could tell you were working on these for a while. Like they don't sound like quick 3-minute pop songs. You fleshed them out, which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah, some of them have been like a year old, 2 years old, like 3, 5 even. So yeah, they've developed.
Yeah, and a lot of the times we'll have the recordings on our phones of what the current state of the song is, and then just like if I'm driving to work, I'll play it in the car, and then I'll think, oh, what if we add this at this point, or if I sing this melody here to add something. So always adding to it.
Were there any keyboards on there?
A good bit of keyboard actually, but I feel like it's with the way we did most of the keyboard, apart from Where You're Gonna Go, Who You Gonna Call, which has like the piano.
That one's like keyboard
part of it.
Electric piano over there.
Everything else is very kind of blended into the mix rather than put it at the front.
Right.
Who plays the keyboard?
I play some. I think JC plays some on the record.
The album.
Yeah, I don't play on the record, but each of us can play the keys.
Yeah.
Okay. So JC, this is the drumming is kind of AI, right?
It's all.
So how do you transfer that to live? How do you where do you practice? Where do you pick it up? Where do you?
So at least the way I do it, I know Alex does his drums a little bit differently, but I'll play it through GarageBand, like just with my fingers, and it's usually like I know what's within my limits per se in terms of my ability on drums. So I know like I'll try to play it on the electronic version the way I know I'd be able to recreate live.
Okay, good. It saves the neighbors too, right?
Yes.
That could be a problem, right?
And what do you play live? What type of kit?
So we have a Ludwig.
So you're playing acoustic drum kit live?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Lou, you and JC could have a drummers conversation if you want.
Sure, we could.
Do you have any questions for him?
Can I talk?
The drummer
guitars?
never gets any respect, by the way.
Yeah.
Even in the setup, he's in the background. Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. The lead.
It's
That
only
lead
because
guitar
it-
always does that. They always do that. Where's
It's
the
only
bass?
because of envy. That's the only
But
reason why.
Brandon got to stick up for the drummer though. He's the bass player. You got to kind of stick together on that.
But yeah, with the rhythm section.
That's right. So Lou, what were you gonna say?
The gigs I play, I use digital drum kits. So
Oh.
there's a kit at the Spiritual Center I play for. It's midline Lisa's kit. It's okay. It's good. It's interesting. And I have an old Roland digital kit with the rubber pads I got in the early 2000s. I still have it, but I did a gig on that recently, and the percussion sounds and all the sampled sounds are amazing on it.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of gig where I got to program all the different kits for the different songs.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
The electronic kits are definitely getting better in terms of like the reaction from them, but I still feel like nothing beats the bounce of a true acoustic drum kit.
Yeah.
No, nothing beats an electric drum kit from the 80s. Nothing.
I had
That's the
one.
fucking greatest drum kits ever made.
I had one of those Simmons kits.
Yes. Just need a synthesizer to go with them. It never worked on their own. They need
Those things were horrible.
designed
They
for
were horrible.
synthesizer music. And I like synth music, so shut up.
You remember what they looked like? It was an octagon
Yeah,
shape.
the octagon, yeah. Coolest fucking things ever.
It made your wrist and your elbows ache.
So you guys put the album out on all the streaming services. So where is the is there a financial aspect to this for you guys putting it out there, or is this just basically on the house? Like, do you get any type of streaming?
Yeah, so you get like I think it's royalties, but basically for how many streams we get, the service that we use to put the songs out there will pay us a certain amount for whatever we end up
Like
for stream.
7 cents.
Yeah,
on the
it's
dollar.
not much.
I
think
actually,
what do we have right now?
I think
$5?
one stream is actually like 1% of a penny. I think something
Yeah.
like
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Hey, last year we got $10.
yeah.
So which one of you writes it off on your taxes?
Yeah, careful with that stuff. Look how
What's that, JC? You were saying.
People still people buy it on iTunes too. So I mean,
that's probably
if everybody threw it into reverse like 10 years and went iTunes again, we would love that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I love on Spotify? When you play Not Like That, the video comes up. That
Yeah.
Spotify video thing, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we got the strobe light in my
They
parents'
got the strobe going. So who did that?
He almost gave his mom epilepsy.
I
But
took the video. It's JC and Alex are in it, and we got the strobe going.
It's the what? It's the 10-second clip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's 10 seconds. But I popped it on. I go, see that shit? That's like professional shit. That's what you see. Like I was watching a garbage video the other. I would put a garbage song on. The name of the band, not the type, not like it was a garbage song.
I
knew
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just I just pulled that out of my head, but and it's got that like cool little 10-second video that goes with it. I always look at that and go, that's pretty fucking cool that they do that. So I saw that and I was pleasantly surprised that you did that. Now you just got to do it on the other ones. Don't be lazy. Get it done. Get it fucking done. All
Get
right?
it done for you, all right?
Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
So we'll get it done tonight for you.
Yeah. Get on that shit. Get on that shit.
Can I ask a
I'm doing
quick
this
question?
for free, by the way. You're getting this for free, so you better give me something in return. You're actually doing me a favor, so.
Yeah, because otherwise Scott would have to deal with me all night. So, hey,
Fucking
let me ask you a
2.5
question.
hours with just you last week.
Whose house is in the picture on the cover of the album?
Oh yeah, that's my parents' house.
There you go.
Okay.
We repainted it.
It's a
Yeah,
nice cover. I like it.
Most of the recordings took place, so I feel like it was fitting
typical Winthrop house.
because it's run down.
Yeah.
It's
It's since
Sounds like Pearl River.
so
That's a house of old America.
there you go. There you go. So what's next, boys? What's next? What do you got coming up? Any gigs?
Don't have many shows coming up. We're gonna be on some. It's like a podcast thing, but they're gonna have us in a studio so that we're gonna play like 8 of our songs.
Nice.
Yeah, they'll have us all mic'd up and videotape that.
Cool.
Well, I could fly you down to Boca. We can fucking set up in here.
I mean,
I got 3 extra bedrooms. One's got 2 beds in it. The 4 of you can come down and swim in the pool. I'll turn the heater on. Fucking just jam.
We'll probably
sounds good to us.
We'll probably pass out on the floor anyway. So what's the difference?
Just give me a towel. I'll sleep on the floor.
Well, at least you'd be down here before my brother. He's never been down here, so that's something to look forward to. But you guys got to make it big first.
We'll take Colin with us.
No, you won't. No. I don't have enough room. There's no room. No room. Sorry. You just blew a perfect opportunity. So, what is that also? Did they reach out to you? You reach out to them? What's the name of the podcast?
Yeah, it's actually one of my dad's coworkers is one of the guys on the podcast. So he reached out to me, and honestly, I forget what the name of it is, but I could look it up. But yeah,
just don't forget the name of this one.
Never.
Well, never forget this one. We'll be on that at like March 20th, I believe. But they're going to send us a video of the whole thing so we can.
Nice.
Post it.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So what's the social media? What's been cooking on that? You got you out there on TikTok, Instagram.
Definitely more so Instagram. We're trying to move into the TikTok world a little bit more because obviously.
So who does that? Who is it? Is it just one of you that takes control of that and says, "Hey, I'll do the social media"?
It's mostly JC.
JC.
Yeah. We each got a little slice of the pie.
There you go. Good. Drummer's got to do something other than drum, right?
Yeah, no, of course.
It's more than enough to do.
JC, Lou's your biggest fan, by the way.
All right, I love you, Lou.
First thing he said when I said, "How'd you like the album?" He says, "The fucking drumming was great." Like, just blows right by you 3. The first, the you 2, but Mike also blew right by that.
All these gigs I play at this spiritual center, someone goes, You're slowing it down. You're speeding it up, and it's not me. But every time I see the bass player afterwards, he goes, "You're fine, man." He goes, "It's just them. It's them.
It's
them."
the rest
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Lou lives in Asheville, North Carolina. It's like the trendy place to be. Unfortunately, right, Lou?
Yeah. It's a little overdone now.
Yeah.
The new bumper sticker is welcome to Asheville. You're too late. It's too small to have this many people, but it's an interesting music scene,
kind of like what Winthrop's turning into.
Yeah,
it's too small to have that many people.
Yeah,
but that's a whole nother show. That's my other part.
So if I move to Winthrop, you're kicking me out, Scott?
Oh, you can't hang there. You couldn't. No. Well, maybe you could. I guess I don't know.
You could hang at the Point.
Yeah, you can get on the Point. The Point is its own little world in Winthrop. That's the funny thing. Only people in Winthrop understand the Point. It's its own world.
Well, I've told Scott many times, I've always wanted to go to Boston, never have. I'm only, 3 hours away. One of these days, I'm going to go to Boston.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So no gigs coming up? Nothing in the near future to promote?
Actually, Mark Talon asked us to play up in North Conway, but we don't have the details yet. So I don't know exactly what that entails, but I'm sure I'll be figuring that out soon.
Bro, come on, bro. Play in North Carolina, bro. They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was actually the voicemail we got.
Wait, I'm talking. No, you. What are you talking? I'm talking, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So go on. So you don't know the logistics of it or anything? Just
no. He gave us a weekend. It was like the weekend of April 20th, I think. And I don't know if we're playing at bars or what, but I don't know if we're playing at his house, bars, both.
Fucking charge his ass. Charge his ass. Nothing's for free. Nothing's for free when you're struggling musicians. Well, you're not really struggling. You guys do pretty good in your non-band form. So I think we had that discussion a year ago.
Yeah.
You're not the
You're supposed to quit your day jobs.
yeah. You want to be true rock stars,
That's
but
the plan, yeah.
yeah. And you're supposed to live at your dad's house and listen to that all day. Just keep your day jobs. Keep your day jobs.
Don't
But,
listen to Scott. Don't listen to Scott.
JC, are you drinking wine back there?
Yes.
Oh,
My man,
there you
my
go.
man.
I'm actually on
What the
Uh,
fuck? JC's. Oh, look at these motherfuckers.
I like these guys.
Jesus.
I'm in the business. What's in the glasses, guys?
Oh, he's in the wine. Yeah, Lou's a wine connoisseur guy.
Yeah, this one came from JC.
I think it's some
Fucking, what's that, Ripple?
I don't know.
It looks like a natural wine.
What's the
Unfiltered.
name? It's backwards.
I can't see it.
Suel.
Yeah.
Suel Vin de
Says
Pointe.
like $3.50 on the price tag or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
It's like 60.
Never mind.
I wasn't
Never
far. I was
mind.
like, it's just one fucking step above Boone's Farm.
Yeah,
That's
really.
it. It's
For the
it.
first time, I don't have the cheapest wine in the show.
It's so fucking cheap. They can't even read the name. They don't even know what the fuck type.
It sounded
this looks
remotely
good.
French.
It's purple. It looks good.
Right?
Enjoy your wine. It doesn't matter. Enjoy the wine.
Yeah, that too.
What's that?
I said we're just illiterate. That's the problem.
They asked the fucking guy sleeping in the fucking gutter outside the liquor store, "Hey, what's a good wine? What's a good wine? What's the hot wine this week? There's one for $3.50. It's in the fucking back. You gotta rub the dust off it though to get to the price tag.
What's in the bag?
That's what I like. Let's get that one. Can't even pronounce it. But that's good. So you do have a rock star thing going.
We're on a
Fucking
budget.
cheap
too,
wine.
you know?
Yeah, you can act a little broke.
Yeah.
You can act a little broke. Yeah, no Mad Dog 2020 though. You don't want to touch that stuff. No. All right, boys. Anything else? Anything? Did we miss anything? Mark, Lou, any?
I'm telling you, I feel so strongly about this album.
Yeah, it is
that
good.
I
It
will,
is
through
good.
Scott, let you know if I see this station down by me doing any kind of, once in a while they do unsigned band shows where they have people submit stuff. If I hear about it, I'm going to tell them to let you know because, you know, you're regional. You're up there in Winthrop, but you got appeal. You got to get out and, you know, get other people in other areas liking you. So I'll let Scott know if there's any chance, like if they're doing anything on this station. They're a huge station, and I just want to see. I want to see you guys make it. I really do.
Well,
I think you got the goods.
If I do that, I want a piece of that fucking $10 they got last year. Then I'm just gonna call myself a manager. I want a piece of that fucking $10. So nothing's for free. Nothing's for free.
Give
Lou?
you a 50-cent bottle of wine too.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll give you no bottle.
how's this? I'll be your manager. I'll send you a case of that shit. That's our contract. I'll send you a fucking case. I'll have it delivered through fucking Uber drinks.
Drizzly.
Sounds good to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it does.
You know,
Lou?
Uber drinks.
Yeah, the Uber's drinking. Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's actually a good fucking thing.
Probably do that job, I guess.
Start that Uber drinks. The driver comes else drunk. Fucking trash. He's had it fucking the wrong order. You just take it anyways.
Welcome to Asheville.
Yeah, Uber drinks. Welcome to Asheville. So Lou, what do you got in closing?
Well, again, good work on the album, guys. Really.
Yeah.
Good, solid album. And again, I will stress the fact that I really love the fact that, you know, the songs are very distinct from each other. So you got, you know, that's no small feat, I think, you know, and then, you know, it all sounds very natural. Good luck with your gigging and keep doing what you're doing. Come down to Asheville and play, but you have to do everything on ukuleles. That's the only thing.
Alex, you
12
play
bar blues.
you play the
Drives me
ukulele,
nuts.
Alex? Could
No,
you
I
play
play a little mandolin
Yeah, I was
now.
gonna say we got
Yeah,
some.
hey,
No,
that's
perfect.
not that far
Perfect.
apart.
You're in.
All right, perfect.
They
Yeah.
both sound like toy guitars. So
Yeah.
and what's the difference? What's the difference?
I bemoan the fact that Asheville, I mean, there's a rock scene somewhere here, but it's getting so pushed under by other things. A lot of jazz in town now, which is not a bad thing. I'm not knocking the other forms of music. It's a bluegrass capital. I mean, it's a Appalachia. But I think actually, if there's a vibrant rock scene, I haven't really seen it yet, unless it's on a certain bigger level. But that's the thing. If you ever do come down here, there's a need for that. So
Lou lives in the underbelly. He lives in the underbelly of Asheville.
That's right.
Soft white underbelly.
Soft
Right.
underbelly.
I got my fingers in the dirt here.
There you go. Air to the fucking streets, buddy.
That's
Air
right,
to the
that's right.
streets.
On the
The
dirty
mean
side of
streets of Asheville.
the dirty side of the
Something.
curb always.
That's like saying the mean streets of Boca. It just doesn't really have a good ring to it.
No,
really
yeah,
work
it doesn't.
that
It doesn't. Yeah.
So, nothing around Boston. What's the scene going on there? Is it just hard to break into, or
Yeah, it's a lot of like you go and you have to bring your own crowd, and
Yeah, pay to play.
like, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
hard to fill the places. So, and then if you don't bring people, you don't make that much money, and then they don't call you back. So it's
And
Ah.
post-COVID, bar
like we
owners
get
have always
take the money for them. So
right?
post-COVID bar owners don't really have to pay you anything now. They use it. I've heard that it's been used as excuse to nickel and dime and just say, hey, you're playing somewhere, but as
Well-
musicians, we know that even if you bring people, or even bring a handful of people, what a bar makes off a keg of beer is astronomical. They could always throw you a few bucks.
Yeah.
Well, that's motivation to make them fucking regret it.
Maybe play loud.
See what you just look at it. See what you could have fucking had. See, like I know people that saw the Cars before they were the Cars. Like back in those days, you could see great bands, and the bars in Boston would just come in and play. And it was like that, and that's what made it great. And I guess it ain't like that anymore. Everything changes.
you can say it's not like
What's that?
you can say it's not like that.
Yeah.
I saw
Like the song.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah, I guess that was over the head.
Subliminally, yeah. Look at
Good
that.
drums.
See how I weaved that in? I did that on purpose. See,
Exactly.
because I'm cool like that. See,
Yep.
I could do that shit. Well, gentlemen, again, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Somebody just said you can gig at Bill Ash's. Well, I was thinking the same thing. Bill Ash's is still one of those. Did you ever play there?
we
You ever
have
go to? Have you ever tried?
Or CBGB. That's
I
true.
think actually one of our friends has like pitched it to us.
You should give it a shot just to say you did it, because that place is that is the last of the great fucking Revere Beach bars. Like they're all gone. Your generation ruined it, you assholes. Well, not you guys, just your generation.
Everything changes.
Everything
Everything
changes. I know.
Yeah.
I know. We had the yuppies in the 80s. It's no different.
I remember like when I was first old enough to play rock clubs, they all went to dance clubs. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah. But you should give Bill Ashes a shot just to say you did it. It's what the hell.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a place to play. It's a place to play.
So Bill Ashes is a club.
It's a bar.
It's a bar.
Yeah. It's
Dive
been
bar.
around forever. It's the last of the Revere Beach Giants. There used to be like 10 bars up there that you could bounce around on in any given night. In the summer, it was great, but not no more.
Nope.
All right, Alex, Brandon, JC. Fuck Mike.
Welcome.
It's a no-show.
Yeah, the no-show guy.
Yeah,
The too cool for the podcast guy. I got to go see somebody who made their name like this. Somebody something. I don't know. Whatever the name was. It wasn't Milk Crates and Turntables. That's for sure.
Nope.
Nope.
Not even scratching the surface.
Yeah, tell him he owes me one now. See, I go out of my way. I disrupt my podcast. I make time for you guys, and then he ditches me for some major artist. I don't know. Where's his
The
priorities?
nerve.
Where's his
The
priorities?
nerve.
No respect.
No respect.
No
No
respect for Scott.
No respect at all.
Hey. All right, boys. Again, thank you very much for coming on. You guys are great.
Keep up the good work. Keep writing the songs. They're great.
Yeah,
You got-
if you ever want to come on, Brandon, just send me a text. You guys come on anytime you want. I'll let you disrupt it, but it's for a favor to be paid back later. Like in that scene in The Godfather.
That's right.
Where there may come a time when I ask you for a favor, and at that time, which may never come, you will be granting me. So that's kind of where we're at right now. See, I collect favors. Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to repay you.
Bonus data.
You know how you repay me?
Shaking.
Fucking just make it. That's it. That's it. Just make it. Just make it.
That was pretty easy. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah. No problem with that.
No
right?
problem.
No problem. Well, all right, boys. If Brandon, anything coming up, any gigs, let me know, and I'll put it out there. And keep pumping, keep putting them out. You got 50 songs in the can.
Hell yeah!
Keep putting this shit out, man. It's good. It's good.
And I'm spreading the word in New York for you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to get the geographical areas, get people into you.
Yeah. Yeah. I need more songs for my finally curated playlist.
That's all right. We'll have more coming soon. We're already thinking about album number 2.
Yep.
Was I talking to the drummer? I
No.
The drummer got a little comfortable in this interview. The drummer got a little comfortable. And he's gone. He's looking for his cheap bottle of wine. Where is it? Where did I put it?
Oh, the old Chateau Latrine. Yes.
All right, guys. Listen, have a good night. And like I said, Brandon, let me know what's going on. If you guys ever want to come back, you're more than welcome.
All right.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, man.
Thanks for having us.
Good talking to you.
All right.
All right.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Great guys.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan. Honestly, a fan. Not just because you told me, this band. No, they're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like them.
Well, before I move on, the beautiful Tiffany Van Hill just said, "What's up, y'all?" I have to say hi to Tiffany.
Hello.
I guess my brother was interrupting throughout the whole interview. I don't know. Were you watching what he was writing?
Yes.
You were?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I always watch what he writes.
Oh, now Big Head Todd the Wet Sprocket comes in. Good. Finally. Finally, the show is something now.
Well, I was so bad as a co-host last week. He had to call in.
had
He
to
saved
call
the show.
in.
He just called to liven things up a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all, Mark. Don't take it personally, buddy.
Me and my deadpan dry humor.
I'm self-effacing.
My dark deadpan dry humor.
Yeah, buddy. All right, so let's jump into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2024 nominees. I know you guys covered this on. Let me read this for a second. Hold on. I know you guys covered this on the Music Relish show.
Yep.
But it's that time of year. It's going to be talked about, and so I'm going to go down the list, and then we can go back up in thumbs up, thumbs down. So it's starting with Mary J. Blige. What do they call her? The queen of R&B or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I love her voice.
Mariah Carey. Not yet. Don't just reading the list.
Okay. No.
Yeah, and then we'll go back up in thumbs up, thumbs down. Cher, Dave Matthews Band, Eric B. and Rakim, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Jane's Addiction, Kool and the Gang, Lenny Kravitz, Oasis, Sinead O'Connor, Ozzy Osbourne, Sade, A Tribe Called Quest. I actually like this list.
Yeah.
Me too.
There's nobody on there that I would. Well, I mean, I have my own opinion, but
I have some questions there too.
Everybody on there is that's a good list. That's a really good list. So let's start with now. How many do they take? Do they have a set number? Like we only take 4 or 6 out of the. What is it? 1, 2, 3.
It's a point system.
12. So there's 15 bands here. So what do they take? It's a point system. So it could be 6, it could be 8, could be.
It has something to do with the judges and then the fan votes.
It's
I
never
was saying
counts.
on our show,
Never counts.
you could get a billion
Yeah.
votes like Ozzy, and it only equals 1
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
The fans get screwed.
Doesn't
They don't have
count.
any power.
That's just them trying to
It's a
appease
giveaway.
the
They're
stupid
appeasing.
audience.
They're pandering. They're patronizing.
Yeah, that's what it is. The patronizing the fans. Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Did my brother call me a shithead? B-Mac is
Yeah,
going
he
to
did.
Tokyo, shithead. What? How dare him?
It's a shite head, Scott. Shite head.
Oh, and Big Head Todd the Witch Brock said, I waited. I did not want, and he doesn't write I didn't want to enter. He says, I did not want to enter.
Very proper. Very.
That's
the
proper English.
No
What's wrong with
contraction
that?
at all.
Jesus.
We're from Jersey.
Not
We
want
never
to
do that.
interrupt the guests. Yeah, Dave Phillips. Here we
Dave's
go.
on a tear here.
No
Yeah.
Jay Giles.
Yeah,
No Grand Funk. Here we
No
go.
Jethro Tull.
No Jethro Tull.
No America.
No fucking no Bad Company. No Paul Rogers. No
Zebra.
No Zebra. No what's his name that just died? You would have thought he would have gone in from Canada there. If you could read my mind.
Gordon Lightfoot.
No Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that ship has sailed. I have a thing about I was thinking about this. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, Mark. I think between like Joan Armatrading and Gordon Lightfoot, they spend a lot of their time in their own country, and I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame holds that against them. That they don't,
because they're not making money for the American.
They're not
industry.
coming. Yeah. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Well, what does that fucking tell you? Because
And I don't think that's with everybody, but I think with certain people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's a big play. You made me money. You made money for us.
I think if Joan Armatrading was bigger, or if they were more widely known artists, yeah, they would put them in. But
well, she could have been, but she chose not to really.
Yeah,
she has a following in America, but she just chose not to live here and record here. And
yeah, but I think her following would be like along the lines of like some of these old country acts like Lucinda Williams, where they're almost nichey, a big audience, but you've got to really be a fan to seek this out. You know,
well, yeah,
Sheryl Crow is more of a mainstream commodity.
Well, Joan Armatrading also, she had songs on the radio in the late 70s, early 80s, and then just kind of, fell off the map. Kind of like Melissa Etheridge, just kind of fell off the map, just decided not to really pursue it. I don't know. But I just know that those two that I just mentioned, Gordon Lightfoot and her, they stayed in their respective countries and just recorded there and toured there. And she's got all the accolades over in England.
Yeah.
And he has all the accolades up in Canada. So
he, as a recording artist, he was still big here, though.
He was.
Yeah,
he was, but he didn't really tour here. He didn't record here. He didn't, so. All right, so let's start at the top. Mark, Mary J. Blige.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I think she should be in. She's such a force of what she does. She's still current. And she is a trailblazer because she kind of melded hip hop with soul singing. Like she was a singer who used hip hop, whereas other people were just all hip hop and not, I like her for that reason. But I think she should be in.
Lou?
As much as that I know of her, I mean, I understand she's been very important to music in that, the rap, hip hop, soul realm, which is not my biggest forte. But based upon what I've heard about her importance in her artistry, it seems like she's more than certainly eligible. But that's a kind of a not profound opinion on my part.
I say she's really good, sold a lot of records, but there's a lot of artists that have done that. I think the trend over the last 5 years of really needing to insert women, and I know, people are like, oh, well, I'm telling you, it's kind of blatant now. I think she's going to get in, but I don't think she deserves to be in. She's good. It's great. But
well, there's women nominated. Another woman might get it if what you say.
That's possibly true. And I see a couple that I would put in before her. Actually, absolutely would put in before her. And I'll start off this one, and that would be Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey she was a monster. I mean, you put those two side by side, and Mariah Carey, she dominated 2 decades. 2 decades she dominated. She has the greatest fucking Christmas song ever written. No, I mean the thing explodes every Christmas. I mean that in itself is amazing.
And that song will go on forever.
It will,
no doubt.
absolutely.
doubt.
And so Mariah Carey again
She can't
dominated,
sing.
and so a lot of them are. A lot of them are insane.
No, that's it. She can sing.
Oh, I thought you said she's insane, and she is insane.
She is
and a lot of
insane.
them are insane. Taylor Swift is insane. It's just from that much money and that much power, they feel that they can do and say whatever they want because they know the masses will listen to them, and they don't care about their critics. It has to sink in to a bit of insanity. That's why you see the Britney Spears losing her mind. And
I think that there's so much untold stuff, in that realm of money and fame and power. There's untold stories there too. Like Taylor Swift hasn't really led a normal life in a lot of ways. She seems like a good person. I'm not, that's nothing that aside.
Fucking meme of the year.
What's that?
Fucking Travis Kelce, the meme of him yelling at what's his name, the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, and it says, "It's not true. My girlfriend does not have a Chinese man ass."
So
and then I put a picture up next to it.
That was you.
She does. Taylor Swift has a Chinese man ass. Look. Fucking great.
I'll never get that out of my mind. Thank you.
She does. Taylor Swift has a Chinese man ass.
That's called a shovel butt.
Hilarious. Whoever came up with that is the meme of the year. Nothing in 2024 is going to beat that one.
The problem with ubiquity is that eventually people are going to want to take it down, or something's going to slip somewhere. There's always a backlash to a ubiquity,
She hasn't really, me personally, she hasn't given me any reason not to not like her.
No, not at all.
No, I mean,
that's an expanded version of what happens in a workplace. If you work in an office and you get all the promotions and you become powerful, people are going to be out to get you. They're going to try to bring you down. When you're world famous, same thing.
I think it's oversaturation gets people just annoyed with you.
Yeah, that's all the overexposure.
Oversaturation.
When you're everywhere.
We saw people turn on U2. They got sick of U2. They got sick of Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Any band that gets
Collins.
huge. Phil Collins. Yeah.
Phil Collins. Yeah.
Phil Collins was at my wedding mugging behind me and my wife in the pictures.
There you go.
That's how everywhere he was.
So Phil I think Mariah Carey should be in. Mark?
Love Mariah Carey. Some of the greatest songs I heard. She's a stunner. She's beautiful. Great voice. I don't think so. I don't think she should be in. I don't agree. But if she gets in, I'm not going to be angry.
Mark, do me a favor. Keep track of each artist and who said who should be in and who shouldn't. Can you do that?
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, because I want to look back at this when they do announce them, and that could be part of the.
So Mariah.
Show. So
you said yes.
I think she should. Lou, do you think she should?
No.
All right.
No. Even the Christmas song aside, I don't.
Fucking Carly Simon.
I'm trying to give I'm trying to keep artistic taste out of what I think. Like I understand she's a great talent, but that type of music just never doesn't appeal to me. So I have a hard time judging. The influence. Has anyone tried to be the next Mariah Carey? She's a very singular artist, but that's why I said no.
So did you see?
I didn't say no out of maliciousness. Like I said, I like her.
No.
So somebody won a Grammy recently, and Mariah Carey presented it, and it was a female artist, and she was like, "Oh, you know what it was? It was what's her name, Miley Cyrus, right?" And she said, "I don't care about something like I don't care about the show. I don't care about the Grammy. I can't believe Mariah Carey just gave me this award." So she does have that influence over these artists. She does have that impact on these younger artists that they're like, fucking Mariah Carey just gave me an award. I remember when that dude, it was, I don't know, back in 2012, Gautier, I didn't mean to love
it was a one-hit wonder.
Him and Kimbra from Australia, who I like her. And Prince gave them the award, and Kimbra was just like, I can't believe Prince just gave me an award. Like, that doesn't happen too often where the artist looks at the presenter and goes, "Oh my God." So
Yeah.
I think she does have that impact. I think she does have that, everything that it takes to be in the Rock Hall of Fame. So that's 2 no's and a yes. Mary J was 2 no's and a yes, right?
So
I
Lou,
think I was
Lou, you
I
said
was
no to Mary
ambivalent.
J. Blige?
I was almost ambivalent on that one.
Yeah, but he
Well-
basically said, I think he said no, right, Lou?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See how I swayed that vote? I should be a
Although
Democrat. I should be
well,
a Democrat. I
You're
did
just
good
like
at that.
no,
There
you're
you go.
like Jan
There you go.
Wenner. That's what you're like.
There you go.
All right, Lou, share.
Absolutely.
Okay. I agree. I don't think we have to talk about Linda Ronstadt's definitely in the Rock Hall of Fame. Yeah. I don't think there's much more to say about Cher than she's Cher. Mark?
Yeah.
Yep.
Even based upon some of the 60s stuff with Sonny.
Yeah, I mean, the longevity in itself is.
Yeah, and she had to endure a lot of criticism. People said I remember like she was considered sexy, but not so much beautiful. But she had to defend her looks. She had to defend her voice. People said she always sang flat. She didn't. She had a deep voice for a woman.
Yeah.
But that was part of that was sexy too. But yeah, some very important songs. Even her solo stuff throughout the 70s. With the modern stuff, okay. I like the video with her on the battleship. I thought that.
So I was just going to say that. So Taylor Swift has a Chinese man ass. In that video, Cher has a lower back with a crack in it. There's really nothing else there.
Really?
She doesn't. There's no ass there.
She's got no back.
She's lower back with a crack in it.
Really?
That's what she has. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
When she puts the phone in her back pocket and dials somebody, it's not a butt dial, it's a crack dial. Yeah. She's first woman in history to crack dial someone.
So what you're saying, tonight's show is not good for women's posteriors.
Well,
at this point,
so far, Mary J got some rump. Mary J got some rump, so we got
Mariah.
that going for us.
All right.
Yeah, Mariah.
Well, yeah, there you go.
So she's beautiful. Yeah. So
Cher or Mariah Carey.
So Mark,
Mariah.
Cher, we give it is it three
Yeah.
thumbs up?
Yeah.
All right. This is an interesting one. Start with Lou. Dave Matthews Band.
Yes.
Why?
I'm not so much a fan. Some stuff I like. I think their endurance, their following. I think he'll go on for a long time. He has his own XM channel, and I was surprised that some people I know who like music. I didn't think they were the type of band. Like a couple friends of mine, like I love them, and I'm like, okay, I'm like a little lukewarm to them. I think the drummer plays too much, but I do think they'll endure almost like the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's had enough radio exposure. Look at from a commercial aspect. He's no stranger to a hit song or two, and like Mark says, Mark praises his acting in Winn-Dixie. So I think based upon his acting in Winn-Dixie alone, apparently, on Mark's recommendation, I think they deserve it.
Someone just messaged in, forget Dave Matthews. In other
There
words,
you go.
fuck Dave Matthews. Right? Hey, oh shit! Look who dropped in. Tom
Holy shit.
Spallone. Let's get
I
Tom.
threatened him. I said, if you don't listen tonight, you're a dead man. So he's not here.
Yeah, Tom Spallone, the man that started all this, the man that broke the ice. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Tom, you
He's
guys
like the
wouldn't
forgotten
be here.
guy.
Remember that. He's the
He's a forgotten
Beatle.
guy in history.
He's the
like
forgotten Beatle. Yeah.
you look at the birth of our nation.
He's no Pete Best. Come
He's
on.
the Pete Best of milk crates and turntables.
Boom.
He's the Pete Best of milk crates and turntables. Okay. So Mark, you say yes? Dave Matthews? No?
They're gonna be around for a long time, and it's right. And he's gonna be like the Grateful Dead. He's gonna be around. For that reason, I don't think it's his time. I think that there's others that should get in. So I'm saying no now.
Well, looking at the list. Yeah, I'd say looking at the list, he's been around for what, 30 years now?
Yeah.
Something like that. Going on almost 20, late 20s, 27, 26 years.
And his role, his role was just memorable. I mean,
Pretty rabid following.
I say, what would you say? He's got a good catalog. He's consistent. A lot of people say that he sounds the same.
You don't
You know,
really know him if you
Something to be
think he
said for
sounds the
that.
same. He's a very
right. That's just saying. Some people, it's the voice. It's always there's nothing really. Oh, you guys must be talking about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Check
Fuck
out the
that
big
place.
brain on Tom.
Yeah, I got the big brain on time. You're a smart motherfucker. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I say, what's on the rest on the list? I say no, not this time.
Okay.
Not this time. All right, Mark, Eric B. and Rakim. So Lou, I know you're not probably.
Mhm.
I'm going to say the reason that there are hip hop, rap, or R&B artists that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are the reason that Eric B. and Rakim should be in. They're trailblazers. They did something different. So yes, I absolutely say yes.
Eric B. and Rakim are fucking hip hop icons, not just legends. The hip hop icons. There is nobody, and I'm a huge Biggie fan. I think Biggie was, but so they say, they say, I always say that, Stevie Wonder was the greatest entertainer, musician, singer. If he was Prince is 1A. You know what I mean? So if he's number one, Prince is 1B, however you want to put it. He's that close to Stevie Wonder, right? Eric Rakim is just, he was so fucking unique. He still is. Is. Eric B., what he did with the turntable and putting these beats together. Yeah, this sampled, but that's a talent. A lot of people, they kind of brush that off. That's a talent to be able to take these songs, these old songs, back then without computers,
right,
and put them together. And that shit wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So because Jay-Z is in there, I think he is, right? Didn't Jay-Z get in? Or I know LL Cool J got the special award or something, and there's a couple rap bands in there. Run DMC is in there. I don't think they'll get in, but I think they should be in. I think they should be in there. They were that groundbreaking. Just Rakim is just the fucking greatest. It's the greatest. Lou, do you have any either way?
Well, based upon what I've read about them and like in preparation, because we were talking about that too, last week. Like you said, they seem to be groundbreakers and very influential. And just because, also, I'm not a big fan of rap. I do understand the importance of it. And I respect the fact it was a new form. All this stuff was new. It was rock and roll's been around forever, and R&B and soul's been around forever. This was like an offshoot that was totally unique. So
yeah,
I would be inclined to say yeah.
All right, Lou, back to you. Foreigner.
Put them in.
Put them in?
Yeah, I say put them in. They
Open
were
the door and let them in.
Let them in. A great, I call them one of the great radio rock, FM radio rock bands. They were a good band. I really, we were talking about that drummer, Dennis Elliott, right? Mark? Yeah. Solid rock player, great songwriting. Lou Gramm is one of the great underrated rock and roll singers.
There you go.
Soulful rocking. I like their latter day hits too. When I like the rock stuff, and even when they went ballady and kind of soulful, I thought they did it really, really well. And Mark, you posted something that Mick Jones got Parkinson's disease.
He
will not tour. He just announced it.
Yeah.
But I for sentimental reasons, I do like that kind of era of like FM radio rock. Guitar solos, guitar riff intros. You don't hear much anymore. I think I don't think they ever did anything bad that I thought they did. But so that's my vote.
Mark.
I always used to say Foreigner, Faceless, like they're not Led Zeppelin, they're not Pink Floyd. They had a kind of a standard rock and roll sound. But then I realized that Double Vision, what's the album after Bathroom Writing Our Name on the Wall? Or I can't remember the name of that. Head Games. Those are some of the those are my favorite albums growing up. And but they have done a lot. If you're talking about success, wildly successful, well-produced albums, and yeah, they were a big potent force of rock and roll. So I say yes.
I got to go with yes. I think they're going to get in. I think
they're
again,
gonna get
Lou
in.
Gramm, one of the greatest singers, frontmen,
Yep.
voices, underrated. We've said this
Yeah.
I don't know how many times on this show. Lou
Yeah.
Gramm never, just like Paul Rudd, they never get that credit.
Yeah,
That
Paul,
credit.
I mean, yeah, really.
Yeah.
you know.
Shame.
But Lou Gramm, it's that Foreigner. Like who's the face of Foreigner? Really, there isn't one. It's Foreigner. Like the band is the band,
Yeah,
right?
which is cool.
Yeah, that's kind of different, you know.
Yeah.
So I
I-
think they'll get in just because of their longevity too.
Yeah.
They had a long career. They had a lot of hits.
Yeah.
There are a lot of hits, and as
Oh,
a
yeah.
band itself, as a band of musicians, there was no Mick Jones was no guitar hero.
No,
There was no standout instrumentalist. It was like you said, it was an ensemble. It was a band.
like Supertramp type thing.
Well, yeah, sure. Like the guy could play guitar solo,
No one
but
stood out.
It wasn't based upon. There was no one. It wasn't based upon any one individual.
What's the first Foreigner song you remember hearing?
I had to be off the first record.
It was a Sunday.
Yeah,
Day like
well,
any other
yeah,
day.
yeah.
That's a good opening too.
For me, it was Double Vision because my sister was in college and she came home and she
second
had that
record?
album. Yeah, Double Vision, the album, and they looked so cool on the cover. That was like one of the coolest pictures.
Their first
Pictures
album
ever.
was pretty big. It was
Yeah,
pretty
yes,
big
it
when
was.
it came out.
Star Rider.
Yeah, it was pretty big. when
I
it
was
came
like
out.
Head Knocker.
Right. Right.
That was a weird song, almost like a 50s. That was like their Jamaica almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Tom
Lou
Sloan
says
no.
no.
Though.
Me and Mark say yes.
Oh no, I said yes.
Oh, you said yes.
Oh, yeah.
Clean
Mark,
sweep,
did you say yes?
Yes, I said yes.
Tom Spallone says no.
He's
But,
wrong.
he says his
that's-
tremolo is awesome.
It's just Tommy's got to disagree with us.
Being a contrarian.
Let's see what happened. Okay. Peter Frampton. I'm going to start this one off. I'm trying not to say gonna on the show. I'm going to start this one off.
Gonna.
Peter Frampton.
Just like Todd Sockman.
Yeah. Well, Peter Frampton to me, I did this You Make the Call last week, and I put Peter Frampton, or Peter Frampton Comes Alive or Live Rust. Like which one, right? And everybody picks, the majority of them picked Frampton Comes Alive. How many songs can you name off that double album? 4, 3, right?
I don't to have you.
It's just like the Saturday Night Fever double album. There's only 5 songs on that whole double album that you know, but it's a great album, right? So Peter Frampton had "Show Me the Way," right? What was the other hits off of that album?
Do you
All
feel
I Want to Be is By Your Side was a kind of a hit.
Kind of, right?
Do you feel
like I do, right? So that's 3. I'll give you that one, Mark. 3. Nobody can remember any other songs off that album.
Unless
But it's so fucking imprinted in their head. The album cover,
Yeah.
the constant rotation of those songs, right? Even today. But it's a double record. There's nothing else really on there that stood out.
But you know what?
Shine On,
You
but
know-
was that a hit? Was that on the radio? Was it a big hit? No.
I'll tell you what,
And
though.
he never did really anything after that.
I just played it the other day. I played its entirety at work. It's a great microcosm of 7. It does, the whole album plays very well. It puts you back in that time. You could smell the leaded gas fumes, and then you just remember the hot summer days. And so the whole album is good, but you got a good point. I mean, as far as what was played on the radio, it was, a couple songs.
And so Frampton had
The songs were
minor
huge.
hits after that. He had minor hits.
Nothing
know,
much.
I'm in you.
After
which
that follow-up record, I'm in you. There wasn't much.
there was nothing much. So I
Yeah.
mean, so what's his career? What was his career? He was a guitar player.
We are the people. He had
Who
a,
never
after
topped that one album. He
Yeah.
could never reach that level again, which is typical rock and roll story. The band has that one big
He
album,
hit-
and they just can't reach it.
It was
again.
so you're saying it was almost a fluke.
He blew his
even
load.
so
too
even
quick.
Cheap Trick did live at Budokan, but they fucking kept going up and kept going up and
Yeah.
kept going up. Cheap Trick kept getting better after live at Budokan,
Mhm.
right? Peter Frampton didn't do that. He didn't take those steps. He didn't have the hits. He didn't have that, that appeal. He
But he
got
made
older.
Sergeant-
He didn't look like the younger, that handsome, Dr.
He
Pepper.
took-
Sergeant Pepper was a fucking big mistake too.
That was the-
Yeah.
Well, it was right after the live album,
Yeah,
it
that was a
just
big
it all
mistake.
went bad for him.
He
Yeah.
took bad career advice because when he did I'm in You, he said, I got to do what the fans want me to do, which was the biggest mistake. And that album does suck. But in
I
the
know
80s,
he
he had a
created
revival
that
revival.
one,
fucking wah-wah thing. He created that fucking
That talk box.
the talk box. And so what? How
Mark-
often is
Mark-
that used in music?
Joe Walsh? I mean,
Yeah, Rocky Mountain Way. And
Joe
that-
Perry.
Jeff Beck.
Yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Perry.
So
Jeff Beck.
one song
Yeah.
here, one song there, in the big picture. So I don't think he belongs in there. So I'll move on. Mark?
I say yes, even though he only had that one big. He was part of Humble Pie, which was a huge influence on a lot of hard rock bands that came out in the 80s. And even after his career went down, he was still relevant. I mean, he had a resurgence in the 80s. He was playing bigger places again, but he had, as a guitar player, I can tell you, I know a ton of guitar players that were influenced by him. He's got a very unique way of solos.
No doubt.
They're not
Yeah, no
blues.
doubt.
There's some there. But
But
that
is he Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I know we're looking
I
at all
think
that, but
he
is
is.
it Rock and
I
Roll
think he
Hall of
is.
Fame stuff?
I think when you have that one
Okay.
album that's as big of a monster as that album,
Be careful with that.
Hmm.
Be careful
Yeah,
with
you got a
that.
good point.
There's a lot of people that have these big monster albums that never.
yeah.
And should
But
they
I-
be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? You can't use that as a criteria.
But did we see that album cover for years? Like you still see it. Even a kid now, like the guys in the Pointe, they probably know that album.
Well,
cover.
no doubt it's an iconic album cover,
Yeah.
like I said, and the 4 songs that come off the album that nobody else can remember other songs other than deep dive people and music people like us. But even I can't remember a lot of songs off that album. And I had it and I played the fuck until the grooves were done. This is your choice. I'm not saying
Sure.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
Not saying you're wrong, but I can't say that I can't buy that just one big album with people can remember the album deserves Rock and Roll Hall of
Well,
Fame.
It's not just the
credentials,
success; it's also going into the
Right.
influence category. So
Okay.
his career. So I say yes.
All right, Lou.
I'd say squeak him in
Ooh,
based upon current criteria.
Mm.
Like I said, it was an important album. I think if you had the album in front of you, my thing is just, or if I saw the songs in front of me, like they might have been more recognizable, I think, than I can remember now.
I would remember them.
The thing is that I say squeak him in because I do think I think he's a fabulous guitar player. I think he's underrated as a guitar player. When Frampton comes alive, that was the whole thing. But he's much more than that. I
He's
think.
70s rock kind of icon.
Yeah, but because he could have been in Fleetwood Mac instead of Bob Welch.
Bob Welch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. They would have been a little heavier.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
by the way, I just want to
But,
go back to one. But you
yeah.
said that Mariah Carey shouldn't be in, but fucking Carly Simon is in. So Mariah Carey
Based
definitely.
upon,
should be in.
criteria. Yeah, I mean, or I didn't even
Just
say. I mean, Sheryl Crow versus.
Yeah, Mariah Carey. I mean, look at this record sales. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Tom says it's almost 50 fucking
No,
years
Tom.
old. The album.
No, Tom, you're almost 70 fucking years old.
Hey, all right. Moving on before these two start going at it.
Oh, you
So,
haven't
what do we
seen
got?
it, please.
I say no. Mark says yes. Lou, you say yes.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
All right. The next one, we'll start with Lou. Jane's Addiction.
No.
Mark.
I say no. Not as much of an influence, even though they were different and they sold a lot of albums, but they had their day in the sun and nothing. And I don't think they're worthy of the Hall of Fame.
I say yes. I say yes because of the fact that they have good album sales. They did have a big following in the 90s. They created the festival.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's
you know what
true.
that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
Lollapalooza. They created that. They groomed. They nurtured that thing. I mean, that's a
You're fine.
fucking big
But
deal.
maybe
big
a
fucking
special
deal.
special nod for Perry Farrell, but I mean, you might hear "Been Caught Stealing" here and there on the radio. I don't think the music has really lasted.
Well, I
beyond that
mean,
time frame.
you could hear it on the '90s channel on XM.
Not often. Not often.
Well, more than you probably hear fucking Peter Frampton.
I don't know about that.
Not on the 90s channel.
Not on the 90s
I mean,
channel.
on the '70s channel.
No,
I mean,
it pops up. But
I think Jane's Addiction was groundbreaking. I think they were the LA scene for a while. They had a lot to do.
Oh, they
with
were
that whole thing.
They were one of the biggest breaths of fresh air
Yeah.
when I was getting bored with music. They were one of those bands that came along and were different.
And they
when I saw Been Caught Stealing, I was like, they're good. Yeah,
they have to. That's not even my favorite song by them, but their first album is fucking. It's one of those almost perfect albums. I don't think there's a bad track on it. And a great album cover too. Great album cover. Jane's Addiction's first album. I think they get in because I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the voters are probably a lot of '90s kids, young adults who
good point
saw Jane's Addiction grow and how big they were. I'll never forget this. So there was this fucking stupid show on MTV in the '90s, and it was these, you look back now and they were hand selected. It was this group of kids, they were probably early 20s, and they would play videos, and there was 5 of them, right? And they would say either yes or no to a video, and the majority would rule, and that video will never be played again. It was like the death sentence, right? And they gave these fucking idiots the power for that. And I'll never forget watching it. And the video was, and go and watch this video. Go and watch this video. Jane says it was live, right? And they start off with the Jamaican drums, right? And Perry Farrell, and Perry Farrell has his hair all like really done up, and it's a great, like you see in this concert footage, and they do a great job of it live, and it's different, a little different than the album version. And they go to the studio, and these kids watch it, and they were like, "That was stupid." No, and they voted the fucking video off of MTV, right? Voted it off. Little did they know that should have been on MTV, because Jane's Addiction was just, they blew up.
Jane says on my local New York station, K-Rock, they were the king of the 90s. They played all the best, grunge, whatever. Jane says was on like every fucking 10 minutes, and I got tired of it because it's a good song, but they played the live version.
Yeah. My brother Colin says, name for JA songs.
Jane's
Addiction. I think he meant no.
Jane's
whatever.
Addiction.
No, name for Jane's Addiction songs. He's asking you.
Oh, the Mountain Song. Jane says, Been Caught Stealing. What else is there? What's that?
The fourth. It's always so hard. Come on.
Let me see.
Can't fail your big brother.
Burnt City. That's a good one.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, they just.
Now, how long were they before they became Porno for Pyros? Was that?
So they broke up, and Perry Farrell started Porno for Pyros. And that was,
they were good.
They were pretty good.
Pets. So, that was a big hit song.
They were the kind of
I think they were better.
That was kind of that Mad Season type thing with Lane Staley.
Yeah.
When Alice in Chains broke up, they did Mad Season. So the song, the group Porno for Pyros, they got the name of the group out of, and I remember in the 80s and the 90s, everything was in like these local newspapers. Like you could find like all this crazy shit. Like there were, Hey, Call Me. Like there was a lot of prostitutes and, call girls in the backs of these, like, these local newspapers. And they saw one in like one of these newspapers or a magazine, and they were selling porno for pyros. It was like an ad in a magazine.
Category.
Yeah, and they were like, "That's the name of the band. This is the name of the band."
It's a good name. It's a good name.
It's great. It's a great name.
That was like late 80s too, or early 90s. That was that was around the time of the PMRC.
It was still around. The print was still big.
Yeah,
Print
yeah.
was still big. So I say yes, and you
Okay.
guys say no.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Cool in the Gang.
Absolutely yes. What can you say? It's popular, successful, influential, part of the 70s. And yes,
And the
I just
80s.
like I say yes.
Summertime, one of
80s,
the greatest summer songs ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Summertime. That's one of the greatest jams ever. Lou?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unequivocally. Yeah.
They have to be in.
Why aren't they in already? They should have been in
They
already.
should have. See, this is what we're talking
Just put
about.
the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
None of us respect the institution. And Tom
And
doesn't. He's sketchy about it too. You know.
So there's a whole generation that didn't know the original Cool in the Gang.
Funky.
They only know She's Too Hot,
Rosanna.
Too Hot, and Celebration, and all this. They don't know the original Cool
Jungle
in the
Boogie.
Gang. What was the name of his? What was the singer's name? CJ or something that they brought him in and
Yeah.
and went. They went pop.
went
And
pop.
they did really fucking good. But listen
yeah.
to this 70s stuff. You're not hearing that.
Mm-mm.
You're hearing some good funk.
You're hearing some good funk, some good, Jungle
Little off
Boogie.
the ground,
Jungle Boogie.
not going for the commercial. Just
No,
good.
but
music.
they did have commercial
down
hits.
funky.
Yeah.
Well, they did have funky hits. Yeah.
So that's like they actually reinvented themselves, which most bands can't fucking pull that off.
And successfully, right?
It takes a big change because none of their songs in the 80s were like the songs in the 70s.
Yep.
What's his name, Mark?
And Lou,
Yeah.
Robert Cool Bell,
No, that's
No.
who's
Michael
the singer?
Ray, Kevin Bell,
The singer. It was different.
Dennis D.T. Thomas, Ronald Bell, James J.T. Taylor,
Ronald Bell.
Ronald Bell.
There was-
Is that him?
JT Taylor. I know it's two letters. I think it's JT Taylor or JT. One of
James
the
J.T. Taylor. James J.T. Taylor.
Yeah.
There you
He
go.
had a smooth pop for us.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah.
You liked him. So
Those songs were huge. I mean,
they were.
They were Rosanna and Celebration. That's right up there. All the Hall & Oates 80s stuff.
I
as far
hate
as
fucking Celebration.
I
That is
fucking hate that
that is the consummate fucking white people song.
But you know what?
Fucking black.
Why we hate it?
Black
people
people
song
don't
by
play
black
In that
fucking
commercial.
No,
Commercial was.
I hate it because if
It
you
doesn't
heard it
matter.
everywhere. Everywhere.
Woo!
There's a birthday party, they play that fucking song. There's a reunion, they play that song. There's a wedding, they play that song.
Every white
It's the
wedding.
song. It's the song of office parties.
Yeah,
in the
only at
80s,
white
when everyone
weddings,
had those offices.
Yeah, only at white
Drunk
weddings.
people at
because
weddings?
Fucking black people don't
It's a
listen to that song.
celebration.
Yeah.
Mark was doing his best white guy dance just then.
That's the only time white people can dance at a
His feet
wedding.
weren't moving.
Jesus.
That's
I've
me
seen
at a
some
wedding.
festivals. I went to a festival a couple weekends ago, a seafood festival here in Boca, and there was a live band playing. And there was a lot of white people there, and them fucking white people, they were just like, I felt like videotaping them, but that would have been cruel. That would have been cruel.
Clap on the
Because,
one
so
and
it's
three,
not
man.
just weddings, dude. These fucking festival goers, like these food festivals, and that Elaine fucking Seinfeld thing.
Yeah. And
It's
from
an
a drummer's
angry
point of view,
dance.
So again, black people don't listen to that song. They don't. It's a white man's song. It's a white person's song. Celebration.
Smart.
All right, so we all agree. All right, Lenny Kravitz, Mark.
I'm gonna say no. He had some hits. He's influential in a lot of ways, but I think he went with fashion. Like Bowie was a fashion guy, but his music was always good. I liked a couple albums from him, but I don't think he's worthy of the Hall of Fame. Definitely don't think so. I don't have an impact on the music business.
Lou.
I say no.
All right.
A couple hits. I like some of his stuff. Some stuff I don't. But like I said, I think he's more of an assimilator of music. He assimilated a lot of it. The comparisons of John Lennon. He can be funky and rock. He's kind of chameleon-like, but I'm not seeing the real impact there. But
I think they're going to let him in. I don't think he belongs, but I think they're going to let him in just based on. I'm just going to say it. Fucking checking a box.
Yeah, checking
He's
a box.
Good artist.
Yeah,
He's a good artist. I'm not taking anything away from him. I don't think he
He
belongs in there
also-
yet because
He
Huh?
also hangs with all the right people in the business. He's very influential behind
yeah, that's what I
the
mean.
scenes.
They're
That could
gonna
get
let
him
him in.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought Zoe
yeah.
was a pretty good Catwoman too. Zoe
yeah,
Kravitz.
she was.
Yeah.
She was. Yeah.
I put her in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Uh,
I hate version of
Oh.
American Woman. I can
I
if
didn't
I
like
hear
it.
it
I
again,
did
I'm gonna
too.
scream.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
didn't
like
either.
that shit either. Yeah,
No.
yeah. That's up there with me with Susie and the Banshees doing Dear Prudence.
Dear
I fucking
Prudence,
hate
yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
I hate it. All right, I'm gonna start this one. This is a definite yes. Fucking monsters. Monsters. They ruled the world for about 3 or 4 years. Oasis. Yes.
Mhm.
Oasis.
Yep.
Mark?
I
Mark?
say yes because they were the first album. That was great, and I did. But I'm talking to people now in their late 20s, early 30s, like my son-in-law. I didn't realize they had on that generation when they came out, and for that reason alone, the attitude is pure rock and roll. About them was "fu" rock and roll. They just they're good, and I love. Yes, they should be in.
Lou?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said,
Monsters.
yeah, they're one of those bands like Def Leppard were. Like there was a time like I like some of those early Oasis singles and stuff like that, but I didn't realize how big they were. Like certain other bands, I'm like, oh, they were that really huge and definitely popular. But yeah, I would say
Watch the documentary. There's a documentary on
Yeah.
them. I can't remember the name of it. It's fucking. At one point, Noel Gallagher's like they were going to do a fucking concert, just them, and they found he went out and he was kind of doing the logistics and found the biggest fucking area he could find, and it was like he's going, this is ours, and they fucking filled it. You know, they were just amazing.
I
think
always
they
liked,
did their bit for rock and roll too.
I always heard from my son-in-law that in England, the big competition, he saw Blur and Oasis, like they were competing. Oasis hands
Yeah, that was the
down,
big
won
deal.
that.
Yeah,
They won that. Blur is
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
I love
but-
Blur, but they're not Oasis.
but in the end, Damon Albarn from Blur went on to create Gorillaz and became fucking worldwide on his own.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they're friends,
Mhm.
like him and Noel. Like as they got older, they're like, "What's up?" But he actually had Noel come in and play on a Gorillaz song, and so I watched a documentary yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, on the Stone Roses.
Hmm.
Okay,
Ah,
and I'll send it to you. The fucking Manchester accent. You have to put on the closed caption.
captions.
Holy shit. That Manchester accent is fucking so. The reason I bring them up is it's a good documentary. It shows their kind of reunion in 2013. And the story that happened, the thing that happened to Stone Roses is it's kind of fucked up. But there's one quick clip of Liam Gallagher coming to this. They did this, like they wanted to do a warm up before this big, like Oasis did, this giant fucking area to do a concert, and they did it at this hall that held like 1,100 people, and they announced at like 4 p.m. If you want to see this show, you get a free ticket to the show. You have to come down here by 4 o'clock. The first 1,000 people will get a free ticket to come in. You have to bring a Stone Roses piece of memorabilia, a T-shirt, something. And they would look, like if you brought a CD, they would look inside the jewel box and see, okay. And I think they might have stamped it too to make sure that they don't hand it off to somebody else type thing, right? And so, you know, it's a great scene. It's a great thing to build up to this. Like they were like, we got to do live first before we do that. And there's a quick clip of Liam Gallagher coming in the backstage, and he looks right at the camera and he said, this is Liam Gallagher, says, Stone Roses are the greatest band to ever come out of Manchester. End of story. And they were. And they fucking were. Yeah. And I said the drummer for Stone Roses, Rennie, Lou, this guy was. They said he was like the Jimi Hendrix of the drums. This guy could fucking play anything,
Yeah.
man. He was
Yes,
that
that's a
fucking
big characteristic of their music is the drumming.
his
Yeah.
drum beats, man, and he's fucking flawless and effortless and just smooth and like they would have been Oasis before Oasis if they didn't get fucked by the record company immediately.
Yeah.
But the Stone Roses, you got to see. I'll send you the name. It's called like Hard as a Stone or something like that. It's really good. It's like 90 minutes, but it gives you the whole story on the Stone Roses. So, so we all agree Oasis should. Now, interesting. Now, okay. So if they get in, right, Made of Stone. That's what it's called, Made of Stone. Do they all show up?
Good.
No.
I think
that's going to be interesting. That's going to be worth just watching.
Is there a reunion?
If anyone doesn't show up, it's going to be Liam because Liam has said repeatedly, "Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame," but no after on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So,
and
if anyone doesn't show up, I think it'll be Liam.
Yeah. Liam is fucking killing it. This is why I say
not in America though. Everywhere else in the world, but not.
He doesn't care
so much in America.
He doesn't care. He's got Oasis money. He's got Oasis money.
Yeah.
You know what it is too? He's like Queen, right? Queen were put around the whole world except for they didn't care. They made a ton of money, you know.
Oh, if he came to America, I think he'd have a fucking he'd have no problem. I think the Oasis fans from the 90s and 2000s would show up in droves to see him. Yeah,
probably.
I think he would draw bigger than Noel Gallagher in the High Flying Birds.
High Flying Birds would be in
maybe this
is
in
clubs. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not playing that, but I think Liam could do it. He just like again, he doesn't. He has Oasis money. Just stay in Europe and just fucking own it. You know,
fly less.
You know what? You know what Oasis money is, right? Oasis money is fuck you money.
Fuck you money, exactly. Yeah. All right, Lou, Sinead O'Connor.
Yes.
Why?
I think she was hugely important in her time. You know, I think also based upon that, her impact. I mean, she was not an unknown artist. She was not an underground artist at all. She hit the mainstream, you know, pretty fast. And I think her influence is far and wide too. I do. And I think she's underappreciated.
Mark?
Yes. First singer, but then she did Lay Your Hands on Me. She automatically went with an American sound. And she was influential on that aspect. Also, stances. She wasn't afraid to take a stand, which to me counts a lot towards your artistic merit. She was ahead of the time. A lot of issues. Music was just damn good, really damn good, right from her first big, you know. But yes, and unfortunately, she died, which may get her in. I don't want to. It's a shame that she couldn't get in because of her merit, but dying may get her in.
You know, rock and roll was a bad attitude. You know, it's morphed, it's changed after 60, 70 years, but she had fucking attitude, you know?
Yeah.
And so does Oasis. I mean, you think about that. I mean, like I said, they did their bit for rock and roll. I think it's an unspoken category, you know, like attitude or just what rock and roll was supposed to be. It was, you know, rock and roll was a thumb in the eye, you know?
Yeah.
So she definitely stuck a couple thumbs in a couple of eyes, I think, but and a beautiful talent.
Yeah.
Powerful voice.
The Lion and the Cobra, perfect album. I'd put that right up there with the Pretenders debut album. Perfect fucking album. Start to finish. Then she came out with, you know, Nothing Compares to You. She made that song fucking iconic song.
Yeah.
She didn't have a lot of hits, didn't have a lot of airplay other than a few, you know, Lay Your Hands on Me and Mandinka was one of those. It was right. Nothing Compares to You. Didn't have a lot of radio play. And today you really don't hear a lot of her music, but the influence that she had, and I think posthumously. So what is it? It's what are this 3 Ds and like it's something. It's delay and then die before before they let you in, right? The VA,
Yeah,
that's like a rule with the VA. You know, you have a claim with the VA, and they'll delay it until you die, you know, and they'll give it to you. I shouldn't say that, but so I think they'll give it to her just posthumously. And again, my man Morrissey fucking said it. He said it.
He had a great quote.
He fucking said it. Basically, he said, "You motherfuckers burned her at the stake her whole career. And then when she died, you all of a sudden were her biggest fan." That's basically what he said in his statement. And he's right. He's right.
I was shocked. When she was booed at Madison Square Garden. Chris Christopherson had to say, "Don't let the bastards get you down." But the concert was a concert for Bob Dylan, and there were fans, right? This is Maz J. probably just went, but if you're a fan of Bob Dylan, why are you booing her? You know, it's like, and she really that was a setback to her career, but she
was
care.
villainized.
Yeah.
She was villainized, and that was that. But again, these motherfuckers wanted nothing to do with her. They kept her. She's crazy. We're keeping her at a distance. Record companies fucking abandoned her. You know, fans abandoned her.
Artists abandoned her.
That's an odd. Yeah, other artists abandoned her. So this is the thing. And when he said that, I was like, fucking exactly. And
but then when you
fans,
die,
like I stuck with her through that whole Pope thing, and back then that was a big deal because she was a fucking good artist. She was, you know, she just had what it takes. She had that it factor. And
hey, your brother said it right. Sang Irish rebel music. That's right.
Yeah. And so I think they'll let her in, but they're fucking hypocrites. All those motherfuckers. Okay, maybe 10% of the people that are voting were like, they stuck with her and they believed in her, or they listened to her and they still bought it. But the rest of them, nah.
Do you think
she's going to be the cool person to let in?
Yeah. Do you think if she didn't die, she'd be a nominee?
No, not at all. That's why I say they're fucking hypocrites. Yeah. I hope she gets in, but the reason they're letting her in isn't the reason I think she should be in.
Yeah,
more sentimental and
Don't forget, this whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame really is the antithesis of what rock and roll is supposed to be too. That's why I don't like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's glitzy.
It's an institution.
Yeah,
it's become an institution.
Yeah.
I think this one's a no-brainer. Ozzy. Why hasn't he been in yet? Why is it taking this long? Are we all in agreement with that?
Yeah.
I say yes because he was in with Sabbath, but his solo career was more of an influence.
He was bigger than Sabbath.
Yes,
it was.
Raised to a guy that had a very religious father, born again father. Those album covers and that music. When you really look at the lyrics, they're not very evil. They're very positive lyrics. But
except for No More Tears, that's a pretty fucking evil song.
That's a shampoo.
More Tears.
Johnson's No More Tears baby shampoo.
But he keeps delivering.
Dark song.
Through the whole grunge era, he was delivering good music. He never stopped. You know.
Nope.
And the
Sharon Osbourne, the driving force behind that.
Yeah.
She's a polarizing figure because a lot of people hate her. But I say when he was laying in that hotel room drinking and doing coke, he could have died. She came in and said, "Get up, let's do this."
She went against her father too. She went against her father. He said, "Don't go near him. That's the kiss of death, and I'll disown you." And she said, "Good."
Yeah.
And she built an empire around him.
Blizzard of Oz,
Ozzy and Keith, only real rock stars. Well, you can't say. Well, Liam Gallagher's a fucking rock star. That motherfucker he's one of the last rock stars of a generation. Liam Gallagher, he's a true rock star.
Blizzard of Oz was a hugely influential. On the public and on musicians.
Yeah.
Also.
Diary of
they attributed a lot of that to Randy Rhoads, of course, but I mean,
he was consistent throughout.
And what a shitty sounding record that is.
Yeah, it's a horribly produced
album. Sounding record.
Yeah, but
you
guys, testosterone-driven music, kids don't care.
Do you guys remember when Sharon re-released those first two albums and re-recorded the drums and the bass so she didn't have to play Lee Kerslake and Bob Daisley royalties? Because the way the albums were done was they all got an equal share. So she wanted more money for Ozzy. So she actually had the two guys that were with Ozzy at the time. So you would put on Crazy Train and you could hear it right away. It was totally
The
different.
difference.
That was a sin. That was a disaster. And
Yeah.
Lee Kerslake on his deathbed, all he wanted, he said, he was saying, I just want my gold record. Don't want tons of money. I think 6 months before he died, they relented. They gave him his gold record because he was a big part of that first album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good story. Yeah. Yeah. This next one I think is a no-brainer. If any of these women are going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Sade has to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She fucking has to be. If Sheryl Crow is in, Sade needs to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mark?
You know, I have a problem with Sade. I love her. She's lucky. She puts out an album every 10 years, tours, and makes millions of dollars. It's like I joke with Tom about this. She does kind of the same song over and over again.
No.
But and I'm gonna go back on. I said on our show. I said on Music Relish. I said no. I'm gonna say squeak in. Let her squeak in. I just don't see. She was popular.
Go watch some of her live. Go watch some of her
Oh,
live
I've seen her live
performances
stuff
on YouTube. She is not recycling anything. That
your
girl.
brother just said it right. Sade for a record deal. She made the best record deal. She was so smart doing that.
She was brilliant. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She was brilliant.
Okay, I go with yes.
Lou?
Based upon what I know of her music, I know 2 hit songs. I'm going to say no.
All right.
I'm not saying she's not great, but I don't know. I've not heard much about her. I don't think she's been in the subconscious of a whole lot of music, more of a niche artist. Great voice, great presence, but based upon what I know, I say no.
All right. I mean, can't argue with you.
Yeah.
Niche artist. I don't know about that.
I mean, as far as she might tour worldwide. I think it's a fan thing.
Right.
You know, but like I said, I'm not fully comprehensive on her music as a whole either. So that's why I said what I said.
And she's definitely still to this day not fucking hard to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's that woman is aging gracefully. Yeah. She's still fucking rocking. Yeah.
Living a good life.
Yeah. And you know what? She took that high forehead look to like another level. Because she does. Her hairline is kind of set back, right?
Yeah.
And she just owned that. But she's so
total class.
fucking
Total
beautiful.
Class. Yeah.
So beautiful. From like that doesn't even, that's almost, so there's like Lauren Hutton always said, there's no reason for me to be beautiful. My eyes are off center. I get a gap in my teeth. My nose is like Lauren Hutton. But if you looked at her, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
It just worked,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And Perry Denovan says she's big in Belgium.
So Citizen Dick.
Yeah. Okay. Last but not least.
Good one, Lou. Citizen Dick.
Last but not least, A Tribe Called Quest. Mark?
For the same reason that Eric B. and Rakim, I think they were original. They were a different sound of hip hop. So I say yes. And the reason I say it is one of these two are going to get in. So I put yes. You know, if Eric B didn't get in, I'd be, sucks. But if A Tribe Called Quest got in, I'd be okay. That's good. So yes for me.
Tribe Called Quest, groundbreakers, absolute groundbreakers. They've been on the list a couple times every year now. I think this is their third go around. I mean, I'll say yes. I think they're going to get in. Again, one of those two is going to get in. It would probably be A Tribe Called Quest before it would be Eric B. and Rakim.
You think?
Because this is their third go around at this.
Yeah, good point.
So I think, they'll probably get in. Mark, what was the Something Theory? What was their first album?
Jesus. We produced it at CPI in Hillsdale. We did the cassettes.
Yeah, the Something Theory. Can't remember. Fucking groundbreaking hip hop album.
Yes.
No, they definitely came from a whole different angle. And Q-Tip has that, like Rakim, they got unique styles, unique voices. So
The
I'd
low
say
end, low end theory.
the Low End Theory. Yeah, that's a groundbreaking album.
Yeah.
So I'll say because of this is their third go around that they'll get in. I think this year is going to be a real fucking cornucopia of music getting in.
Yeah.
And so with that, I'll say yeah. Lou,
I have heard some of this stuff, and I think it's pretty cool.
smooth.
Yeah, it is. But so based upon that, I'll throw it to you guys to say you can vote for me because I don't know company, but I have heard several things, and I thought it was pretty cool. As far as their overall impact, I'm inclined to think they're going to get in. My instinct tells me they're going to get in.
Yeah.
Lou, I would say
Excuse me.
that we would say yes for you only because the stuff you liked, it justifies why they should get in.
Yeah.
Because you're not generally the biggest hip hop fan.
No.
But when you say
I'm
you
not
like
a
an artist,
detractor,
because-
but I'm saying it's
no,
just
but
something.
the thing is,
Yeah.
they were good at what they did.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
good
Yeah.
at what they do. Yeah.
Songs like Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, Bonita, Bonita, Bonita. Or I left my wallet in El Segundo. I left my wallet in El Segundo. I gotta get it. Gots to get it. I left my wallet in El Segundo. It's just smooth. It was totally different from what everybody else was doing.
Well, that's
So,
probably why
yeah.
it caught my ear, at least to me anyway.
very, very different,
Yeah.
very unique style.
So, based upon your recommendation, I said something tells me. I said if you just asked me if I thought they would get in, But so yeah, I'll say yes based upon that.
All right. So that's it. That's what we got. We'll find out on what? When will it? When will they do the ceremony?
Doesn't say. Can I just add something now?
Yeah.
This is kind of, that a lot of times the first time around they don't get in. So 10 of the 15 nominees are on the ballot for the first time.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey, Cher, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, Lenny Kravitz, Oasis, Sinead O'Connor, Ozzy Osbourne, and Sade.
Eric
all
Sade.
first-time.
Sade.
Sorry.
Eric B. and Rakim
So-
also.
No, they didn't list them as being first time. I'm on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Oh wow. Okay.
website.
All right.
So they must have been.
Yeah. I
I
didn't
do
know
think
that.
I think Mariah Carey's going to get in.
She'll get in. She's
Yeah.
got to get in. She's
Yeah.
a fucking megastar.
Yeah.
She's a megastar.
Miss
All right.
Christmas. She's like the female Andy Williams now.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. Do we want to do sci-fi? You want to do some sci-fi movies? Or do we just want to? Well, you know what? I got
Mm.
make the call. We can maybe do the movies next week.
Make
Sure,
the call. You
sure.
make the call. I love
Yeah.
it.
It was hard to pick three
3 what?
sci-fi movies. It was hard to pick.
Well, I mean, this is going to be so. Next week we'll pick it up with the sci-fi movies. We'll decide, what we want to do. You know what I want to do next week? Let's do albums that turned 40 this year.
40.
Okay.
Albums that turned 40 this year.
Whoa.
So, and then we'll do the sci-fi movies, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. But it's time for, let me pull this up over here.
You make the call.
All right, you make the call. Movie edition. So we're kind of crossing over into movies. All right, Mark.
Yeah.
You make the call. Apocalypse Now or Platoon?
Oh, fuck you. It's a cultural icon. I'm going to go with Apocalypse Now, even though it's not the most authentic. Can never stop watching it.
All right, Lou.
Apocalypse Now, no question.
I got to go with Apocalypse Now. Just so many great fucking scenes in that
Yes, there
movie.
is.
Absolutely.
It's heavy.
From
It's a
the
heavy
Robert Duvall to the fucking I watched the snail walk along the razor blade. In the Susie Q. I just love that. I love
and
that
for
scene.
Frederick Forrest alone,
Yeah.
the chef.
Yeah. I'm not fucking
Don't get out of the fucking boat.
Get some fucking mangoes. I get attacked by a fucking tiger. I'm not leaving the fucking. Which
Bye-bye,
ended up
tiger.
costing him.
The cast alone. I mean, Robert Duvall,
Yeah.
Martin Sheen,
Oh, he's good
Brando,
on the
Harrison
line, yeah.
Ford in a cameo.
Yeah.
And the
Lawrence
story
Fishburne.
behind making it. The
Yeah,
story
whole
behind. You ever
story
see the
behind it.
documentary on how they
Yeah.
made it?
Yeah.
There's that scene where the Coppola's on the phone, ready to have a nervous breakdown because Brando's like, he's saying, "I gave you $1 million. You're not going to come. He's not coming." Like he just drove him
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. All right, you make the call, Lou. 80s Robert De Niro movies version. I believe both in the 80s. Maybe not. Well, Robert De Niro movie versions.
Okay.
You make the call. Raging Bull or Taxi Driver?
Ooh.
Oh, Taxi was 70s.
All right.
Yeah, they're both 7.
Raging Bull was in the 80s because it got voted one of the greatest.
It was a movie of 1980, Best Picture 1980. But even still, that's a hard call. That's a real hard call. But I'm going Taxi Driver because there's just so much shit in there. That was so shocking and that was groundbreaking. That was some wild stuff. Raging Bull is a classic Hollywood cinema. Amazing movie. I mean, but I think I like the street level Scorsese too, kind of thing, the Goodfellas. So I'll lean toward. I think Raging Bull is maybe technically a better movie, better picture. I'm leaning toward Taxi Driver just because it's like more iconic to me.
Mark,
yeah. Calls you a little piece. Anyway, he called you a little piece of chicken.
I'm going with Raging Bull only because that was my introduction to Robert De Niro. I was 11 years old when it came out. And Circus Magazine, 2-page review of the movie in which they explained what he did to do the role, gaining all that weight. And he was like the first actor that I said, holy shit, what he did for that role. And it was I think, was it Joe Pesci's first movie? But Joe Pesci's in it.
I don't know if it's first, but yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm going to go with Raging Bull, but both are great.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You fuck my wife? You fuck my wife?
No.
What?
No.
You fuck my wife?
No. No.
What are you talking about? You fuck my wife? What the fuck? You've been fucking. You fuck my wife? Classic.
Bring it over.
Now I'll tell you. I'm going to
to
go with Raging Bull. Kathy Moriarty was a fucking hot number back then, man.
Yes, she was.
Kathy Moriarty was hot in that movie.
What happened to her?
Yeah. She's still around.
She was in Neighbors with Aykroyd and Belushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Raging Bull. Taxi Driver is a very intense,
visceral.
But so is Raging Bull.
Mm-hmm.
And it's again, there's no wrong answers here, but I gotta go with I gotta go with Raging Bull. Oh, my brother said Taxi Driver had more impact. Are you talking to me?
I think that Travis Bickle character he created it exists today.
It's amazing, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was scary. De Niro was a scary actor,
but
in his prime, he was scary, man.
So Scorsese loved doing he did Mean Streets, and he was good at that gritty New York
level
scene, right?
Yeah.
No, Raging Bull is the greatest fucking boxing movie, let alone one of the greatest sports movies
scenes
ever.
Are so good. Who played Sugar Ray in that?
I
didn't go down right.
It was Johnny Barnes.
Okay.
Johnny Barnes played Sugar Ray.
Those scenes, I mean, the scenes with the blood and the spit flying. Yeah. Like I said, I think technically it's a better movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an epic
it's
movie.
Classic Hollywood cinema. Yeah, but I do like that level of Taxi Driver that was just more.
Sure.
It's almost film noir in its own way.
You know what? It's like
I said, there's no wrong answer. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, no wrong answer.
Scorsese has that street level, you go Godfather or Goodfellas. It's hard to say because Godfather's more poetic and operatic. Goodfellas is just,
You know why he had it? Because he's a music fan.
Yes.
And he made movies to the music in his head.
Yeah. Now, the late great Robbie Robertson did the music to Raging Bull too.
Yeah. So, all right, next one, sci-fi. This is sci-fi.
Okay.
The Charlton Heston edition. So, Mark, you make the call.
Okay.
Charlton Heston edition. Planet of the Apes or Omega Man?
Oh, that to me, that's not even Planet of the Apes. Don't
downplay Omega Man. He was the entire movie. He was the entire movie.
but Planet of the Apes, what an original story.
Classic.
And I still remember the first time I saw it, the 4:30 movie on Channel 7. Remember those, Lou? Came home from
Oh, yeah.
school and at 4:30
Oh,
they
yeah.
have a movie. And I watched it to the end and I see Statue of Liberty. And I'm like, holy shit, they're
One of the
on Earth,
greatest
you know?
plot twists in the history of
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Big Head Todd, the West Sprocket said, good night, gentlemen. He'll be
Night,
he'll,
Todd.
he'll finish. Yeah.
Hope you're
Good.
entertained,
Yeah.
Todd.
The best part of that is good.
Oh,
Best part is those 3 words. Good night, gentlemen. Good. I say. Lou, Planet of the Apes or Omega Man?
Like you said, don't downplay Omega Man. I'm such a Planet of the Apes fan. I'm just I'm such a freak for it. You know, even forgiving the fact that, you know, the first time Charlton Heston hears him speak English, he didn't make the connection that he was back on Earth. You know,
He was.
You know, when Charlton Heston
That's a good
crashes
point.
on a planet where apes are speaking English, you know, it's like, you know, that movies ask you to suspend your belief at points, and that's one thing they had to do that. There's no way. Otherwise, the apes would speak in a foreign language or ape language, so the movie wouldn't work. But, you know, that's the license. You have to take that aside. But the Omega Man stuff, you know, all those movies, Omega Man, what was the other one he did? In that same
Soylent Green. Soylent
These
Green.
movies are very pertinent, socially very pertinent. So
Yes.
is Planet of the Apes. It was about, you know, it was a societal
Mhm.
thing. But
Yeah.
just the fact that as a kid, I just love those movies, even the shitty ones. So
There
I
was
say
no,
Planet of the Apes.
wait, whoa.
What's
There
that?
was no shitty Planet of
Whoa,
the Apes.
whoa, whoa,
Well,
whoa, whoa.
Battle for the Planet.
They
Battle
were
for the Planet
all
Apes.
good.
They were, but I mean, Battle for the Planet Apes could have been a TV
Some were
movie.
put together faster than others, but you
Yeah.
still went to see them. You still fucking enjoyed them.
Oh yeah,
And you didn't realize until you were older. That's the thing now.
yeah.
You didn't realize till you're older how kind of cheaply quick they were put together
Oh
to
yeah.
capitalize on the Planet of the Apes thing.
Mhm.
It was fucking great Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah. I remember
Yes.
that
Planet of
one.
the Apes with a
Yeah.
fucking pretty intense opening. Like go
Yeah.
on YouTube and see
Oh yeah.
Planet of the Apes cartoon and watch the opening sequence
Mhm.
of that. That was a pretty intense fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
So
And I got to say, the latest reboots are fantastic. I love them.
yeah, they did a
Yeah.
good job with those.
Yeah.
They did
I-
the
They did
CGI
great job.
has to be fucking top notch with that.
Oh yeah. It is.
So-
And the stories are good too.
Yeah.
The 2001 remake, the Tim Burton one. You know, I was disappointed in the
Now, that
outcome.
was sucked. That
You
was
know, I-
fucking what a disaster.
It could have been
That's like
so
I
much
didn't
better,
hate
Ghostbusters.
it.
That's like Ghostbusters 2016.
right?
Fucking doesn't even belong in the
I
Planet of the
didn't-
Apes
No,
universe.
it's like the Batman
I
and
didn't-
Robin of the thing.
I
but
didn't hate it. The problem is
Ugh.
it got boring. It kind of went low key.
nothing.
For a
Yeah, it
long
was
part
like
of the movie,
it didn't happen. It could have been such a better movie. Tim
Fucking
Burton-
Dr.
Yeah.
Zero, whatever her name was, looked like Michael Jackson. So don't fucking
yeah. She looked too
Here
human.
we go
Uh,
again.
The rest
she
of the
did.
makeup, the Rick Baker makeup, I thought was really quite good. I mean,
Helena
Yeah,
Bonham
yeah,
Carter.
they- they made her-
Helena
they made
Bonham
her
Carter was
sexy.
great.
They
Oh,
made
all
her
three of us
sexy.
are talking at once. Hold on.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Planet of the Apes gets us all worked up here.
I was going to say, Helena Bonham Carter made apes look sexy. I'm sorry, you know.
She had that haircut though. What was with the haircut?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tim
She
Roth.
looked like Jennifer Aniston.
Tim Roth was the best part of that remake.
Yeah.
The Tim Burton remake.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
He was the best part. He played a really good evil fucking.
How about at the end
Charlton
when he's
Heston.
trapped in that room and
Yeah.
the smoke's going everywhere, and then you see him sitting there scared.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's just like sitting there
Yeah.
like
And
yeah.
Mark
he got broken.
Wahlberg's totally sucked in that. It was just
Horrible
bad.
movie.
Oh,
Fucking horrible movie.
He can act. He can
And they
act.
tried, Tim Burton fucked that up. He tried to have the equivalent of the Statue of Liberty by
Yeah.
having the
Yeah.
Lincoln Monument an
Yeah.
ape. Like, there's no
But
like, what are you
did,
doing?
did that
Yeah.
mean? Did they mean? I never got it. Did that mean they just they redid the statue?
No,
That's what I didn't get.
apparently, his character must have found a way to get that other ship going again,
Yeah,
and somehow
see,
make
if
it
you
back
gotta-
to Earth before. Like he did a time warp well
Yeah.
before Mark Wahlberg made it back in whatever time frame he was in. You know.
Well, that movie to me is like Godfather 3. I'll never see it
Yeah.
twice. I'll never see it twice. Never.
Yeah.
It was so fucking disappointing and badly
what a
made.
bummer. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say Planet of the Apes. Omega Man, though, like I said, don't
Yeah.
look past that. He was the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like
gotta watch it
everything
again.
centered there, and that's not easy to carry a
Yeah.
movie by yourself
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he was by himself every scene except for when the black chick shows up with the fucking eyes, And in The Natural, it's a 70s movie, man.
70s, 71 or something like that. 71.
Yeah. So don't, you got to go back and watch Omega Man and the symbolism in it at the end when he fucking dies, he's got his arms like on the fountain,
crucified. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those movies they're worth revisiting. Charlton Heston was on a sci-fi roll there. He did Planet of the Apes in 68.
Yeah.
Beneath the Planet of the Apes in 70. Omega Man, then Soylent Green. He was on that dystopian role there.
He was Charlton Heston.
He was a great actor. He was a great actor.
Let's get into 80s horror movies, 80s vampire movies to be more specific.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll start this one off. You make the call. Lost Boys or Fright Night?
Oh, God.
Nah, see, Fright Night was a fucking really good movie, man. Do you remember it, Lou?
I didn't see Fright Night.
Oh, with the vampire next door?
No, I didn't see it.
You gotta watch Fright Night,
don't
dude.
see
That
the
is
new
an
one, the
80s
old one.
fucking vampire classic.
I never saw Ghostbusters either.
The original?
To this day, I've not seen Ghostbusters.
Oh, well, I've never seen a Rambo movie my entire life. So
really,
don't
not even
see the first one.
Nah, I've seen enough bits and
the first
pieces
one.
of it to put it together. I already
first one's
seen
okay.
enough
The rest,
sure.
to know how it is.
No surprises.
I'm gonna have to say, I think I want to say Lost Boys, but I'm gonna go with Fright Night. Fright Night was such a different fucking it was just such a different movie. My brother just said Fright Night for the humor because it really is kind of a unique vampire movie. And the way it was built up, and it got fucking serious. Like you thought it was going to be this lighthearted, but it got fucking crazy in there. So I'm going to go with Fright Night. Mark?
Lost Boys was the cool movie. It was cool.
Good though. It was good.
It was
and there's a twist in that
maggots,
one too.
Michael. Yeah, you're eating maggots, Michael.
Chinese food.
But Fright Night had Lee McDowell. The humor.
Really?
Your brother's right.
Yeah.
Cornelius was in Fright Night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back to back. That's right. Yeah.
And it had that kind of like American Werewolf in London when the guy turns into a vampire. You see, that was a great effect where you see the skin expanding. So I gotta go Fright Night. And
I'm gonna watch that again. Actually,
I need to
watch that again. Yeah.
Lou,
all right, so Lou, then we'll
get dragged into the new one.
I give Lost Boys. Lost Boys was also the first movie I ever rented on VHS.
Ah, there you go. All right.
But I thought it was great. But I want to see Fright Night though.
All right, Lou. You make the call. 80s sci-fi edition. Blade Runner or Alien? Yeah. It's not
Alien.
Alien?
Yeah.
Yeah. For what? Its intensity and
its intensity. I saw that in the theater right out of high school. I just graduated high school when that movie came out. My brother and sister and I went. I was tense the whole time. If not just for the first scene when the xenomorph rips out of John Hurt's belly. I mean, the shock of that. And then we're saying that song like in Spaceballs. Oh, my little ragtime doll.
Yeah.
But I like Blade Runner. I like the atmosphere of it. I think it's a great movie. But I do think as far as riveting and intensity, I go with Alien.
I want to interrupt for 1 second.
Unfair.
Yeah. I want to interrupt for 1 second. Planet of the Apes, Nova was fucking fire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, I would spend fucking eternity on a planet full of apes with her.
And she didn't speak.
She
No, it was terrible.
But she was fucking hot.
She was gorgeous.
Nova was hot.
Linda Harrison, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
She was like a young adolescent fantasy.
Oh, she's hot. Yeah. All right. So Lou says Alien. Mark?
The Porcupine Tree fan in me that likes everything dark would probably say Blade Runner because that is a bleak landscape. It was the first movie where it depicted the future is not so nice. But the one thing that the movie that brought it down for me was Harrison Ford's narration. I have the version without the narration, like
the director's cut. The director's cut.
Yeah. So it was great though. It was. But Alien was the first science fiction movie that was also a horror movie. You can't top that. It scared the shit out of me. Many science fiction movies don't scare you, you know, and phobia of being on that ship. And I didn't see it till years later, Lou. I didn't see it, but the seeing that scene where the alien popped out must have been like, just, you know, it freaked me out in the 80s. I
shock.
saw
It
it
was
on
a total
HBO,
shock.
you know.
And
Yeah.
great special effects. It was 1979. It was very realistic.
Right. So I'm going
The funny thing
with
is,
Alien.
a lot of these movies Lou and I saw in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I can't think of one that I saw so far just on, you know, when it came out on
Planet of the Apes. I had to see on TV. My mother wouldn't let me watch it. Wouldn't let me go to the movies. I saw that on television.
All right,
but still.
So the most intense 5 minutes. It's like 7 minutes, I think, in movie history. I would think, or it's up there. It's debatable. Is the last 7 minutes of Aliens Part 2?
Yes.
Yes. Right. The fucking intense as it gets. Right. Alien, great movie, but Blade Runner was just the way it was filmed. It was just so fucking, the cinematography in it, the way the story stayed consistent. It was plotting. It's very plotting, and there was twists along the way, and it was so consistent and unique in its own realm of movies, I think.
Yeah.
In both versions, the one with the narration and without the narration, you could feel the different. It's a different feel. But they're both great. I got to go with Blade Runner. I just think it was so ahead of its time in the way it was done. Like my brother just said, movies that are quotable make the cut, right? So I have to go with Blade Runner. Alien, like you said, Mark, great horror movie, great sci-fi horror movie
combination.
But pure sci-fi, that's a junkies movie, a sci-fi junkies movie.
Yeah.
To me, is Blade Runner.
Does Harrison Ford ever find out whether he's a replicant or not? Because that's his question at the end.
Well, wasn't there this fucking remake?
I didn't see this. I didn't see the sequel.
I was just going to tell you, I loved it. I fucking loved it. The 2024.
The second one, the remake, or the
I thought
it was okay. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, like I didn't think Ryan Gosling would be good in it, but he was a lot better than I thought. So
yeah.
So he's not a replicant.
I don't think he was. No. It's a good question. I can't really, but I don't remember it being like, oh shit, they leaned you in that direction. But, all right,
Lou.
Yeah.
Are you a replicant or a replicant? What movie is that from?
Spaceballs? I don't know.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Are you a Mexican?
I didn't see that.
Or a Mexicant? Oh, you got to see Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
That's a good movie.
You know,
Johnny Depp with the fake arm.
On our podcast, every time I mention Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I keep saying America.
Totally
different movie. Yeah,
great movie. Another good movie.
Yeah. Do you know that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the main character of Leonardo DiCaprio, I was telling my brothers the other day, Leonardo DiCaprio and his stuntman was based on Kurt Russell and his stuntman.
Yeah, well, I heard there's other composites too, but that was definitely one.
Yeah. That was, I think that, and there's so I was again telling my brothers the other day, Quentin Tarantino has this thing about don't go off script, don't ad lib, trust the script, trust it. Doesn't like it at all. So there's a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio is getting out of that Cadillac, and his confidence is down, and Brad Pitt, his stunt double, right? And this guy said this to Kurt Russell, and he goes, "Hey, remember, I forget his name. It was
Rick Dalton."
Yeah, he goes, "You're Rick fucking Dalton." That actually happened. You're Kurt fucking Russell.
That's when he's dropping him off at the studio. He's hung over his shit. He's putting his face in the ice. Yeah.
Yeah. And also another ad lib was when Leonardo DiCaprio goes into the trailer and he fucked the lines up. And he goes, fucking stupid. That was all ad lib. And he starts the stutter. That's when you first realize, I think, there's a stutter thing going on.
You hear him stammering though when he meets the movie producer.
He does stammer, yeah.
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 He threatens to kill himself if he doesn't get his lines right.
Yeah.
I like Brad Pitt's line, don't cry in front of the Mexicans.
Yeah.
He gives him his sunglasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I will recommend, if you guys are book readers, read Quentin Tarantino's novelization of the movie because he fleshes out a lot of those storylines.
So it's interesting that the book
that you
came out
don't know.
after the movie. That's what's
Yeah,
interesting about that. You know.
So what's his name? The stunt guy.
Cliff.
You know, there was
Cliff
this big
Booth.
question in the movie: did he kill his wife or was it an accident? Well, that book devotes a lot
Right.
to that. You know, it's an
The
excellent
movie
book.
leads you to believe that he
Highly-
did. He shot her with a spear gun.
Yeah.
Only Christopher Walken knows if Natalie Wood was murdered or not.
Yeah. Well, you know, she
Only
mentions my
Christopher
sister
Walken.
Natalie in that scene. My sister
Yeah.
Natalie was right. You're a loser. He's a loser.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Did we get to it? Blade Runner Alien? We all
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. I think I know the answer to it though. 80s famous we'll say Brat Packers type movie. The Outsiders, Mark, I'll start with you. The Outsiders or Breakfast Club?
Oh, Lou knows what I'm going to say.
Breakfast Club.
Hands down,
I kinda
Breakfast
thought
Club.
this
I
was
know
a-
every line
yeah.
in that fucking movie. You know, Claire.
I got to
Yeah.
throw in the softball on
that's
these
good.
every once in a while.
Peanut butter and jelly with the crust
Yeah.
cut off.
Lou,
Outsiders.
there you go. Yeah,
Pony
it
Boy.
was a good movie.
Yep. It was a good movie. Great book. That was one of my books in high school too.
Yeah.
That you read a lot.
I see
yeah,
him.
it was a cool story.
Yeah.
I grew up in the town I was a kid was a greaser town. So I was from a greaser town.
There you go. I got to go with, I think, Breakfast Club. I think I'll go with Breakfast Club just because of the you could it was very relatable. It was very relatable.
Yeah.
They had every stereotypical high school kid. It was brilliant, brilliantly done by what's his name?
John Hughes. Right?
John Hughes. Yeah. He picked
He-
all the right
when I
fucking
saw that-
actors for the right parts. Although originally what's her name? Molly Ringwald was supposed to be the Ali Sheedy's character. And she's like, no, I'm more like Claire. So they kind of had to work that out. And so Ali Sheedy was like, that worked out great because I'm exactly like that. That's what she said.
You know
she
what's
was, I
funny?
was exactly like that girl.
not acting.
So she goes, I didn't really have to act, but she did have a lot of emotions about it too during the filming.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When that movie came out a year after I graduated high school, and I looked at it and I went, holy shit, it is Pascack Valley High School in Hillsdale, New Jersey. And the two people I would have hung out with, I actually got along with like Anthony Michael Hall's character, the geek. I actually hung out with them in school, and Ali Sheedy's character, Bender. Everyone called me Bender. I would never hang out with that guy. He was, you know, the burnouts beat me up, even though I had long hair because I didn't do drugs. Yeah, I drank.
I could blend with all. I just had that ability to just I could blend
believe
with
that.
all of them. I didn't really have a particular style or group or something to hang. I was very good at mixing and matching. All right, here we go. 80s kind of crazy adventure movie time. Lou, you make the call. E.T. or Goonies?
I have never seen E.T.
Wow.
What?
No. I did. I eventually saw it. I saw it so late. Goonies. What do I remember from the Goonies? Not much. This is a lame call. I'm going E.T. I didn't really care about it. I saw the Goonies years later. I just don't remember anything. I remember some weird scene in a basement with water. Am I wrong? Oh God! I mean,
Mark.
Oh, no contest. Goonies was fun. It was just one of those. I think Spielberg did that movie.
Did he?
Did
A
both
lot
of
of
them.
fun. They go out. They go into a basement. Then they go into a cave. I love that whole thing. And the guy singing the opera. Oh, and then when I visited, my sister lived in Oregon. It's Oregon, not Oregon. And she took me to the beach and she said, look out there. What do you see? And you see those big rocks in the ocean that are in the movie. We went to the town where they filmed those scenes. that's just for me more into E.T. was great in a classic sense, but Goonies was just good fun. And Josh Brolin as a teenager in
Yeah.
that movie.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta go with E.T. I just think E.T. was it was a fucking epic. Nothing like it had ever been made before. It was just had that unique style that it was the okay, so you had Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right?
Mhm.
And that you saw the aliens at the end, and it was kind of, a thing, but see it from a kid's perspective and just the whole ET's dying, and it kind of had you on that roller coaster.
It's a Spielberg movie.
It was Spielberg at his best.
Hmm.
He was in his prime. Let's put it that way. He was in his prime.
You know what I liked about that movie? That was one of his movies where it took place in Lou. You would know, like subdivisions, right? Rush. It took place in a
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
community. Everyone
Right.
had those new
Yes.
houses. It was kind of like that movie, The Gate, that horror movie where they're all in
Dawn
this
of the
new
Dead.
community. Yeah. Whereas Goonies was in an old town.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah.
Let's go with heavy movie here. Both of them. Lou, you make the call. Schindler's List or Shawshank Redemption?
I didn't see Schindler's List.
What the fuck, Lou?
I know.
What?
Oh
I'm not
my
doing movies
God.
anymore. Lou just doesn't
I'm
watch fucking
Here
good
we
movies.
go
kind of hit and
again.
miss. Yeah,
Jesus, that was a
Well,
fucking epic.
I know.
All right. Well, Mark.
I love Shawshank
Doesn't
Redemption,
matter.
but It
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
No, I know.
No. Okay, by proxy, just by fucking default, he has to say Shawshank Redemption by default.
Because I saw it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Mark?
I got to go with Schindler's List and Epic. The interplay between the two characters, the two main guys. I'm losing my mind. I got the Schmitties. Ben Kingsley and Jesus. Who was Schindler? Who played Oscar Schindler? What was
Ray
his name?
Fiennes? No.
No. I will get you. I will find you. What was his name? Liam Neeson. The interplay between them, the story, knowing the backstory, knowing that this happened, and the black and white. The image. It started in color, then it went back and it was in black and white, and it didn't overplay the horrors. Like it just did everything the right way. It does. I can't watch it a lot because it puts such a mood on me. But yeah, definitely Schindler's List, one of the best movies ever made in the history of movies. Lou, watch it.
Great movie. I think.
Where is it on the
You can find it on
director's
Amazon
list
Prime.
of top 100? No, I mean like as far as
it's definitely
in the top 100
probably,
movies.
Yeah,
like,
probably. Yeah, yeah.
I think I've seen it.
I think it won every Academy Award that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to say, entertainment value, going to the movies, Shawshank Redemption was just a great fucking story. Just a great story.
Mm-hmm.
Schindler's List was historical, but Shawshank Redemption was a great story.
Stephen King story.
Yeah. I just think entertainment value, and it's a big fucking movie. It's definitely on a lot of people's top 50.
Well, that's got legs, yeah.
What was his name? Timothy Hutton, and
no, Timothy, not Hutton.
The
guy with the big forehead.
Tim Robbins, yeah, Tim Robbins,
yeah.
And the great
Clark
one.
Duncan.
What's that? Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan, but also what's his name? The black guy with the greatest voice.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
There you go.
I mean, in
the scene where they're on the roof and they've been in prison and they're working and they get a beer. Didn't that scene get you like they got a beer? Like you haven't had a beer.
What Tim Robbins decides, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna lock myself in the warden's office and play music to the whole prison. Put his feet up on the. He knew he was fucked. Just said, I don't give a fuck. And played the fucking music, and everybody stops in the yard. Everybody faces the music. That was just a great fucking scene. like, what the fuck is this? You know, these guys haven't heard music in some of them like decades. You know,
In a strange way, his character in that kind of reminded me of the character in Mystic River, where you knew he was going to get
right,
fucked. He knew,
right.
yeah, and you knew his time was coming.
And
you
wasn't
know?
it James Whitmore played the older guy that didn't want to leave prison? He
Yeah.
didn't know what he was going to do.
Yeah.
An interesting dilemma, because you know you can think about his freedom, but he'd been there so long he was afraid to leave.
Well, you become institutionalized.
Well, he ended up killing himself too.
Yeah, you become
Wow.
institutionalized.
Yeah.
You know nothing else.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
life has passed you by on the outside. You're walking into the twilight zone.
Right.
You know.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see. Academy Award winners. Lou, you make the call. Saving Private Ryan or Forrest Gump?
5 years ago, I would have said Forrest Gump, and I'm gonna say Saving Private Ryan.
All right.
It's a heavy movie. It's a classic Hollywood epic. You know,
Yeah.
Tom Hanks epic. Yeah, I do think the realism of it. I had some friends whose fathers were in the Battle of Bulge and said the only thing not realistic was there wasn't that much blood in the water. Everything else was very real, and that's just horrible.
Yeah.
I think that it's funny. You know, it's weird though. That when I saw that in the movies, I went by myself, and I got a seat, and once all that first 20 minutes went over, I looked over. It was a dude I went to high school with. We hadn't seen each other forever. His name was Al Bergoglio. I'm like, Al Lou, and we just say he's like, huh. So after that initial onslaught from the landing on the beach, you know, we just watched the rest of the movie. But I thought just so much of the tension, the horrors of war, when the guy's struggling with the German soldier with the knife, basically saying you don't have to do this. I mean, just the realism of it, you know. So yeah, I'll say Saving Private Ryan.
Mark?
I got to go with Private Ryan because I saw it in the theater, and I think the first panic attack I had in my life was that opening 20 minutes because I've never been in the military. That was probably to me the most realistic depiction of the horrors of that suicidal mission that they were sent to do.
Fish in a
And I
barrel.
felt like I was in the theater, and I said, I'm gripping my hands, and I said, I got to get out of here. But I stayed. In retrospect, the rest of the movie was almost lighthearted after that because he had Tom Hanks always comes in and makes everything, you know, but also the scene where the doctor of their unit dies, you know, when he gets shot.
Giovanni
And
Ribisi,
that bothered me. Yeah.
Yeah.
For that reason alone, I mean, I love both movies, but that movie to me, if you can make a movie that, and I have not been in war, so I don't know, but if you can make a movie that shows a realistic depiction of war and somehow remains entertaining, because really, let's face it, if you made a movie that showed what it's like to be in war, nobody would want to see it, right? I mean, so you got to make it entertaining, and they did it in that movie. It is a throwback in some ways to the old movies where it was big budget, you know,
it's an epic.
had a town being destroyed. You know, that's where Steven Spielberg's great. You know, he does that. But yeah, I think that movie, and when Memorial Day comes around and they show these movies that are not really respectful to the military, that's the one movie when they show it to me, show that movie, you know. But yeah, I'm going to go with Saving Private Ryan. And the backstory, Saving Private Ryan, he was the last one, you know.
So I'm going to say that Saving Private Ryan has something Forrest Gump doesn't have. Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
I loved him. Man.
He's great.
I loved him.
He was
I like when he was going to shoot Edward Burns. He goes, I'm just going to shoot you because I don't like you.
He was such a fucking great, talented, fucking troubled guy. But in that twist, when Matt Damon is Ryan, he's Private Ryan, and he was kind of hot at the time. Like no one knew he was like he popped up out of nowhere. It's like Matt Damon, you know. So yeah, I have to go with Saving Private Ryan. Forrest Gump is what it is. You know, great story, no doubt about it. Very well put together, well told. Tom Hanks, masterclass in acting.
Yeah.
But gotta go with that.
By the way, two great cameos in that movie: Paul Giamatti and Ted Danson.
Yeah. Yep. All right,
Yeah,
last but not least.
Saving Private Ryan. My fantasy is to go to an actual tourist baseball game and sing the national anthem like the German prisoner was doing it.
Oh, Jesus. There you go. That's a
I love
fantasy.
America.
That's a
Can
bucket
you
list.
see? Oh, say, can you see?
That's a bucket list. All right, last but not least, we're gonna go with campy horror movies.
Okay.
Mark, you make the call. Tales from the Dark Side or The Twilight Zone? Multiple stories each movie.
Love the Twilight Zone, but Tales from the Dark Side entertained me more. Gonna go with Tales from
Lou,
the Dark Side.
did you see Tales from the Dark Side?
No, I did not.
I didn't think you did. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
All right.
Default.
Yeah, by default. I'm gonna say, yeah, Tales from the Dark Side was more entertaining. The Twilight Zone, though, when it came out, I mean, that beginning and the end with Dan Aykroyd. Hey, you want to see something really scary?
Yeah.
And he's with Albert Brooks. He picks him up. He's the hitchhiker, and he turns into that fucking monster.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, when he's in the ambulance, right, and they're driving, and Bad Moon on the Horizon comes on, and Dan Aykroyd turns and peeks and looks at the camera, like you know it's coming.
No, that movie,
but that was they were good movies though. They were both were good for what they are.
What made Twilight Zone dark was knowing that Vic
Morrow,
Morrow died.
Kids died.
Yeah,
and there's two children.
Yeah, kids died.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tales from the Dark Side was more entertaining, I think.
I thought it was a TV show. Was there a TV show?
It was, but they made movies out of them too.
Oh, okay. So it was a TV show first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, that's it. Let's get into this day in music. It's moving right along. We're at 2.5 hours, over 2.5 hours. Let's see. On this day in 2017, David Bowie dominated the 2017 Brit Awards. He was awarded Best British Male and Best British Album for his mournful swan song, Black Star. Yeah, you know what he was going to get. You know he was getting that anyways.
Oh, that album is fucking great. Every song.
As well as honoring Bowie, the Brits paid tribute to George Michael, who died on Christmas 2016. Let me see. On this day in 2016, Adele won 4 prizes, including Best British Female Solo Artist, Best Album of the Year. Coldplay won Best British Group, making them the most successful band in the ceremony's history.
Can't wait for the reunion.
The show also featured an emotional tribute to David Bowie, led by Annie Lennox and his friend Gary Oldman. Let's see. On this day in 2012, American jazz pianist, composer, and arranger Mike Melvoin, who is the father of, Wendy Melvoin from The Revolution, died in Burbank, California at the age of 74 from cancer. He worked as a prolific studio musician, recording Frank Sinatra, John Lennon, Tom Waits, Barbra Streisand, Jackson 5, Natalie Cole, Beach Boys, on Pet Sounds. Worked in the early 70s as a music director of the Partridge Family recordings. Also composed for film, television, including contributing scores to Fame. Let's see. On this day in 2010, Johnny fucking Marr from the Smiths was said to be ecstatic after getting back one of his guitars, which had been stolen in 2000 after a gig at the Scala nightclub in King's Cross, London. Smiths fan Stephen White told the London court he was disgusted with himself for taking the 30,000 pound, which is like $36,000 cherry red 64 Gibson SG, which I've seen him play that in videos and stuff. When he went backstage after the gig at the Scala, imagine just picking up the guitar and leaving and nobody fucking saw you. On this day in 2004, Norah Jones started a 6-week run at number one. 6-week run at number one on the U.S. album charts with "Feels Like Home," the singer's second U.S. number one album. The lead single won the Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. "Creepin' In," featuring Dolly Parton, was also nominated for a Grammy in the category of Best Country Collaboration. Beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. On this day in 2004, the Sex Pistols' "Anarchy in the UK" was named the most influential record of the 70s in a poll compiled by Q Magazine. Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody was voted into second place, and Donna Summer's I Feel Love was third. T-Rex Get It On was fourth, and Specials, aka Gangsters, came fifth. On this day in 2003, Paul McCartney played a private show in San Diego for the 50th birthday of Wendy Whitworth, the executive producer of the CNN's Larry King Show.
Wow.
Yeah. Sir Paul donated his $1 million fee to Adopt a Minefield charity. Wasn't that his wife at the time's thing?
She had, she lost a leg. I
She
think
lost
for
half her
Minefield.
leg.
Yeah.
They should took his money.
Yeah, they just took
He lost his money.
Let me see. On this day in 2002,
Do you think he ever played a basketball game with her?
Yeah.
Come on.
On this day in 2002, drummer Ronnie Verrell died at age 76. I figured I'd throw in the drummer for Lou.
Who the hell was he?
I don't know.
Old Ronnie Verrell. I miss him.
2001, winners of the 43rd Grammy Awards included U2, Record of the Year and Song of the Year for Beautiful Day. Steely Dan won Album of the Year for Two Against Nature. Macy Gray
Great album.
won Female Pop Vocal for I Try. She never really took off after that. Sting won Male Pop Vocal for She Walks This Earth. Eminem won Best Rap Album from the Marshall Mathers LP. And Johnny Cash won Best Male Country Performance for Solitary Man. And Shelby Lynn won Best New Artist Award.
Shelby Lynn.
On this day in 2000, the engagement ring Sex Pistols Sid Vicious gave to his girlfriend Nancy Spungen went on sale for auction at $2,550. Yep, he bought the ring from Camden Market in 1977. Also on sale was a pair of John Lennon's jeans that went for $3,825.
Did they have DNA?
On this day in 1992, UK music paper, the NME, printed their writers' all-time best debut albums. At number 1, Patti Smith, Horses. Number 2, Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. Number 3, MC5, Kick Out the Jams, overrated. Number 4, The Jesus and Mary Chain, Psycho Candy. Number 5, Television for Marquee Moon.
Put the Depeche Mode up there.
On this day in 1992, Shakespeare's sister, who was actually one of the girls from Bananarama, who was married to Dave Stewart from Eurythmics, started an 8-week run at number 1 in the UK singles charts with Stay. The duo was made up of ex-Bananarama member Sibian Fahey and singer Marcella Detroit, who co-wrote Lay Down Sally with Eric Clapton.
Oh, wow.
One of the longest running UK number ones in chart history and the longest by an all-female act. On this day in 1989, a category for heavy metal was included in the Grammy Awards for the first time. Metallica performed on stage. You know where this is going. But the award went to Jethro Tull. I'm not even going to fucking go beyond that. On this day in 1987, Andy Warhol, pop artist and producer, died after a gallbladder operation. Founder of the pop art movement, produced and managed the Velvet Underground, designed the 1967 Velvet Underground and Nico Peeled Banana album cover, which is very hard to find intact, worth a lot of money. And the Rolling Stones classic Sticky Fingers album cover. On this day in 1986, MTV dedicated a full 22-hour broadcast. I've done this before. After 136 episodes, you're going to run into the same days. It's kind of strange. Dedicated its full 22-hour broadcast to the Monkees, showing all 45 episodes of the original Monkees TV series. On this day in 1981, one-hit wonder Joe Dolce was at number 1 in the UK singles charts with Shut Up in Your Face.
Yes.
What's the matter, you?
Oh,
right?
God.
Is that the one? Shut up in your face?
Yeah, it's a nicer place, Scott.
Let me see.
Every
Shut Up
block
Your Face.
party on Long Island.
Famously keeping the legendary Ultravox song Vienna off the UK number 1 slot. Shut Up Your Face was number 1 in 11 countries with over 35 different foreign language versions. It's selling 4 million copies. He must have fucking made his life off of that.
God. I mean,
Jesus.
I almost find it offensive.
It's fucking, isn't that crazy?
I don't even care about that shit. I'm almost offended by that song.
Jesus. And he did appearances probably at restaurants. Hey, guess who's gonna be at our
God,
restaurant? Hey.
Every mob wedding up and down the East
And he
Coast.
just sang the same song 10 times in a row. Like, you know. On this day in 1978, the Police appeared at Wrigley's chewing gum commercial. We appeared in a Wrigley's chewing gum commercial for the US TV. The band dyed their hair blonde for the appearance. I remember that. On this day in 1977, the Eagles released Hotel California. Yeah,
Great
I
album.
don't think I need to go into detail about that one.
Yep.
On this day in 1976, Florence Ballard of the Supremes died of cardiac arrest at age 32. Wow.
Damn.
She sang on 16 of the 40 singles with the group. On this day in 1975, Scottish group The Average White Band went to #1 in the U.S. singles charts with Pick Up the Pieces. On this day in 1975, Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel had their, who cares? On this day in 1970, David Bowie appearing at the Roundhouse Spring Festival in Camden, London. It was David Bowie and The Hype, their first live performance of the new band, along with Batch Dunkelgren, blah, 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 blah. On this day in 1967, Pink Floyd continued working on their debut album, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, at Abbey Road Studio. Who cares? On this day, the album that nobody buys by Pink Floyd. On this day in 1962, Elvis Presley was at #1 in the UK singles charts with Rockahula Baby, Can't Help Falling in Love. Born on this day, let's see. Scott Phillips, drummer with Creed. James Blunt. Let me see. Don't care about that. John Sparks, bassist from Dr. Feelgood. Genesis O'Partridge, singer-songwriter, poet. Nope. Luis Lopez, Mike Green, Bobby Hendricks from the Drifters. Ernie K. Doe. I don't know who that is.
Mother-in-law.
Yeah. There you go, mother-in-law. That's right. That was actually written by Alan Toussaint.
Yes.
Born in the state in 1927, Guy Mitchell. Dude sold 44 million records.
Yeah, he's one of these guys. He's like Slim Whitman, I think.
Yeah. And finally, born on this day in 1923, Hurricane Smith. English musician, record producer, and engineer Norman Smith.
He produced the first three. No, not the first.
He engineered all the Beatles EMI studio records.
Yeah, and the first, second, and fourth Pink Floyd record.
Up to the end of 65, and produced 3 Pink Floyd albums, including the first, The Piper at the Gates, the one that nobody buys. He later had successful recording career as Hurricane Smith, achieving a transatlantic hit single, "Oh Babe."
You know that song?
Probably.
I know, baby, I know. I could be so in love with you.
There
Like
you
an
go.
English dancehall hit, yeah.
Yep. All right, gentlemen, 2 hours, 47 minutes.
Good Lord.
We did it.
We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna be back to do our Dark Star Jam.
We're still
after
going to talk
this
about
one.
sci-fi movies. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's gonna be next week, man.
sci-fi
Next
movies.
week, sci-fi.
Gentlemen, as usual, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge, but most of all, thank you for your friendship. It's truly appreciated. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you liked it, share it. If you didn't like it, well, thanks for watching for 2 hours and 47 minutes or listening for 2 hours and 47 minutes. If you're watching on YouTube or you see this on YouTube, leave a comment. Let us know what's up. If you're listening to it on any of the podcast platforms, give us 5 stars. Give us a comment. Do something. I don't know. Patty Yossi, thank you for your contribution to the podcast. It made 45
Patty is
Polka
great.
the best it's ever been.
Not for me.
Lou found his weakness. It's this box.
The
This new
suck
box.
ass edition.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll be back next week, next Thursday, 7:00 for the live stream. And you'll probably hear it on the podcast next Friday morning because I'm going to get to work on this as soon as we hang up. And that's it, gentlemen. I'll be talking to you this week, I'm sure.
Okay.
And next week. So we decided we're going to do albums that turned 40.
Yeah.
And
this year.
sci-fi. And
sci-fi movies, yeah. And that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.